Talking about Troy Garth Brooks.
That's unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it, man. I just could not believe it. We'll get you going here, but don't forget big game coverage on 96.5. The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, member owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at Community America Credit or CommunityAmerica.com. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I know it's tough to talk about when it comes to low T or erectile dysfunction, or even for myself, weight loss. It's tough. I get it. But sometimes you just have to nip it in the bud and take care of it yourself. Or you can have some help. And where you can get that help is with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They also have 3 locations to help serve you. Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So if you need some help and you want some guidance, go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or you can visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Make Gates Barbecue your go-to for the Big Game Watch Party. Whether you're the host or a guest, the Big Game Watch Party won't be complete without Gates Barbecue sauce and seasonings. Gates seasonings go great on popcorn as a fun topping for dips or sprinkle on chips for that extra flavor pop. Nothing says the big game like a Gates party tray. Stop by any of their 5 locations and pick one up. You'll be the hit of the party. Spice up your Big Game Watch Party with Gates Barbecue. We still do it the old-fashioned way.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
If you love designer brands and you love clearance, then you're going to love this. Macy's is having a huge designer clearance event right now with incredible new designer markdowns on cold weather styles from BCBG, Hugo Boss, Michael Kors, and more. How big are the markdowns? How about Coach boots for $200 or less? So if you're looking for the things you love all in one place, come in and shop the designer clearance event at Macy's today. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes, placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Many people consider selling their homes independently to save on real estate commissions. While this might seem appealing, especially in today's market, independent sellers often overlook the significant financial benefits of working with a professional. Collaborating with an expert like Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty, can greatly enhance your profits and overall experience in the selling process. So contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. You can Google Dawn and her team at Sharp Homes Team or visit them at homesforsaleandkc.com.
The 96.5 The Fan ticket window is open. Head to the contest page at 965thefan.com for your chance to score tickets to see Incubus at Starlight, Tuesday, July 11th with Manchester Orchestra. Must be 18 to enter and win. Good luck from 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. On the Kansas side, 435 westbound combo ramp to go K10 westbound. Accident blocks the left lane, and that's keeping things slow approaching on that ramp as well as the ramp from 35 southbound affected. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber this month, offering $200 off tank water heater replacement or $400 off tankless. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Don't be your own worst enemy. Be your biggest fan. That's my only advice today. Support you, love you, be you. Man, his headphones are wicked awesome. They gotta be like bullet soundproof.
Who, mine?
Yes.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Because when you'll put them on and something will pop up and you'll say something, it's like, did you see this on the news?
It's the noise canceling and whatnot.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
No, I gotta give me some of those. Don't want to be distracted when I'm, never mind. Anyways, I want to bring this up because I think it's awesome when someone or something supports something that you're currently going through, right? And what I mean by that is everyone says the Chiefs, I hate them, can't stand them. And everyone's like, well, there wasn't this sort of passion towards the Patriots back in the day. Yes, there was.
There was, but it was deserved.
It was different. Right? But where I talk about this is not the hatred for the team, the hatred that they win. Like, we were all that person. Tom Brady gets all the calls.
Oh, yeah.
Gronk's pushing off. Like, he has the bionic arm. No wonder he's able to get open. Like, we were complaining about a guy's arm attire.
Right.
Honesty. That was me. I'm like, no wonder he's able to, like, get that separation. It's like Barry Bonds at the plate, right? He could just lean that left elbow over the plate, or I guess it'd be his right elbow, and they, pitch inside. I'm not afraid. Mm-hmm. And, we hated Julian Edelman because, we had, conversations about, is he a Pro Bowler? Look at his numbers. They don't add, or not a Pro Bowler, a Hall of Famer. Look at his numbers in the regular season. Doesn't add up. Look at his playoff numbers. Pretty good.
Pretty good in the playoffs.
And then, had the play in Arrowhead where he, muffed the fumble. You could see his red finger move on the football.
Right.
And then clearly it touched it, but yet they reviewed it. Oh, New England, they get all the calls. That was in our backyard.
Right, exactly, yes.
And now Julian Edelman goes out and supports the theory of why people hate the Chiefs. And it's brilliant because this is a guy who heard all of it, that went through it, that did everything to avoid it and listen to it. This is Julian Edelman, about 35 seconds on the whole theory.
It's apparent when you're on top, everyone wants to try to bring you down. It's a bunch of bull-loney that the league is helping the Kansas City Chiefs. If you got a problem with it, go beat them. Okay, the refs aren't involved in when you throw interceptions, when you fumble the ball, when you jump off sides, when you don't convert third down or fourth down or third and fourth down for short 4 times. They can't control that. Like, if you want to beat them, go beat them. Don't talk about it. Be about it. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say that about the Chiefs.
I love it for Julian Edelman. I mean, because that's
total
the
hero
truth.
now.
No, like, I never hated Julian Edelman, right? Like, I just didn't. I don't hate greatness, right? Like, when the Patriots started this thing again, the only time I rooted against them was when they were playing the Giants. I never thought they'd beat the Giants, or I never thought the Giants would beat them, and they ended up doing it twice. And so, greatness is good for a sport. You need a villain. You need somebody that everybody can hate. Because look, in baseball, you have the Dodgers now, right? I think that's your new hated team. Even the Yankees are like, screw those guys, man. Nobody can keep up with them,
and
right?
that's a different hate because it's almost like jealousy, right?
But
or envy, I guess, because you're like, well, we don't have the money to do that, so we can't do it. They can, of course. God, I hate them because they can.
Right.
Like,
well, I think
there's a
some of
salary
that.
cap in football.
Yeah, but there's also jealousy. I mean, we're all jealous of the Patriots. I mean, let's call it what it is. Hatred is, because you're like, man, I wish I had that, right? Like, no matter what team it is, right? If they're good and they're successful, everybody else is not going to like them because it's not their team. Now, the difference is people are creating things that aren't true to hate the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's like the refs are on their side and whatnot. And, Mitch tweeted it yesterday. The Chiefs are 17th in the NFL in scores and drives aided by a penalty. I mean, that's middle of the pack, lower than middle of the pack. So that tells me they're not being aided by the officials. But facts don't matter anymore in life, right? People have their minds made up, and they're going to die on that hill, and they're going to believe what they want to believe, whether or not you give them the facts necessary to say, actually, your opinion is wrong. And it's okay to have opinions and think things, but then when facts are presented to you that proves what you were saying is wrong, well, you have to be able to accept that. And that's where we are now with, I think, the majority of people that don't like the Chiefs. They're not in acceptance mode that the Kansas City Chiefs are just better than everybody else at this point in time. And if you want to stop them, you've got to find a way to beat them. But it is so hard to beat them because they do everything so well. And that's where we are right now. It's like everybody's just throwing up their arms and going, well, we can't beat them on the field, so we're going to blame the referees and blame this or blame that or blame the other thing. The Patriots were blatantly cheating. We know all that, right? They were doing Spygate. They were doing Deflategate. Whatever you want to say about that. They were legitimately cheating. The Chiefs aren't doing anything like that. They're just beating people. And again, in this day and age where personal responsibility is a historical slogan, that's where we sit right now because it's just easier to blame others than it is to look in the mirror and take responsibility for yourself and say, damn, we should have done better. And again, 3:33 to go, Mr. MVP under center.
Yeah, it's I think it's definitely envious of what they have. Like, I mean, look, do they have outliers in their situation? Of course, right? They're the greatest tight end to ever play the game.
Right.
They paired that with the greatest quarterback of its time, of its era. Like, and it's not close. Like, there is a large gap because of playoff success.
No doubt.
And then you parlay that with the coach. And it's like, yeah, I wish we had all that. I wish I had one of that, right? Like, you look at Detroit. They got Campbell, right? Goff, right? Like, he's good.
Yeah.
Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is he the best? No, but he's good.
Good.
Chiefs have best.
Yeah. But that's not something to blame
but it's
on
also
them,
not normal.
Yeah.
Right at the time, New England, very similar. Tom Brady, the best. Rob Gronkowski, the best.
Right.
Bill Belichick, the best. And it's just like, and that's why I think we see these type of runs. That's why you only see one team do it. It would be impressive if, San Fran was consistently winning and consistently every other year it was like the Niners won it, then the Chiefs won it, then the Chiefs won two, then the Niners won again, then the Chiefs won one. It's not like that.
No, it's not.
It's, you look at Buffalo. Josh Allen's great. He's not Mahomes, and he never will be. And is that fair to him that always gets, put in the conversation? No, but that is the recipe of your career. That's just the way things go in sports. That's the way they have to be because no matter what you are or what you do, there will always be a comparison.
Right.
Radio, there's comparisons. In school, students are compared like, oh, your brother was so much better of a student than you are. It's like, well, I'm not my brother.
Right.
Right.
That is life. You're right about that because I'm thinking back to like the old days of talking to Art Stewart back in the day about baseball players. He'd always have a comp for me. Bobby, this is the next this guy, or this is. And he told
Alex
me
Gordon was the next George Brett. Ruined him for like 3 weeks,
now,
3 years.
The one that
brought him down, brought him up.
Right, but the one that he did hit on that I'll always remember. He told me I remember the first spring training of Salvi, and he goes, "This is the next Sandy Alomar Jr." And I'm like, okay, let's see where we can go from here. He's better than Sandy Alomar Jr., right? Like, so you always have those comps in life. But I also think, too, a lot of the shade that is being thrown at the Chiefs, not that he cares, but it really is running down what Brett Veach has done as general manager of this football team.
Yeah, I told you, the one guy you should hate more than anybody on the Chiefs is Brett Veach.
And this will send it home even more because since this run of Super Bowls, since we started this 5 years ago, right? The first Super Bowl in Miami of February 2020 to where we are today.
6 guys, 1 house.
7 players. Yeah, well, more guys than that. Yeah, it was like 9 guys, 1 bed. Wow. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 players that are maintained on this roster in the last 5 years that have been here for all
doesn't count.
All the Super Bowls. What do you mean?
Winchester doesn't count.
Well, then don't count Butker either. But
he's a kid. He's actually I'm just saying you wouldn't think that. There'll be 7 guys. Okay, I mean, I guess he counts.
Yeah, no, but the point is the roster has turned over so much. And Brett Veach is so good at what he does that 5 years ago to where we are now, there's only 7 guys that are the same, and every roster turns over about a third every year.
I'd even say look at the 2022 roster.
In the NFL. I mean, you got Mahomes, Kelce, Hardman, Jones, Noddy, Butker, and Winchester. That's it. Mm-hmm. Those are the only guys that have been here through this entire run. And so when people complain and say this kind of stuff, how about what Brett Veach is doing as general manager to not just turn the roster over, but turn it over with great players and players that were better than what they had before. And that, I think, is really the key to all of this, is that every time they turn a player over, they seemingly find somebody better or just as good as that player.
And I think that is, we talked about that 2 weeks ago as well. I just think that that's where people are so infuriated, because not only that, but look at all the coaches that have left. Mm-hmm. Kansas City. The biggest question we have for Detroit this year is, can Campbell do it with new guys as his assistants? You would think, yes, that the system will stay the same and the guys that have been in the same meetings can, kind of do the same thing. But, we'll find out, right? We'll find out how good Philadelphia's offense is when Kellen Moore goes to New Orleans. It hasn't been official, but we think that's going to be the move.
That's kind of the move. I think you can see the writing on the wall with that one, right?
I mean, he's the next best guy. They're the only team without a coach. Is the only name that's really been floating around, unless something weird happens.
And McCarthy pulled out of that, so told he wasn't getting the job or whatever.
He's smart.
The case
he's going to take a year off. He'll be the hottest commodity next year.
Right.
It'll be him and Cliff Kingsbury. It'll be the 2 hottest coaches everyone will be talking about next year. But you look at the turnover on roster, the turnover on coaching. Some teams do that, and they lose a little. Push.
It's going to be interesting to see what Detroit does next year. We're going to see how good Dan Campbell really is as a head coach, right? You lose both of your coordinators, and probably other guys from your coaching staff as well, are going to be poached and moved on.
This is another great point from the 816. It's not like they're drafting 5th, 7th.
No, I mean, they haven't had a good draft pick in a decade. Since Mahomes, really.
They moved up to get Worthy to 22.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still later in the draft. Anybody could have had him. Bills could have had him. They moved up to get McDuffie, but it wasn't significantly moving up.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. And another good text from the text line as we finish this topic up. But a lot of the Chiefs' hate stems from other teams' own insecurities and lack of ability to make the big play consistently. The thing that I thought my roommate said that was really awesome is, he said, the problem with the Chiefs and their penalties is that when you commit a penalty, the Chiefs always make you pay. If you get a holding penalty on the 10-yard line, the Chiefs will score a touchdown. You give them a first down on 3rd and 5, the Chiefs will somehow result in a successful drive. Other teams, they get penalties, they might go 3 and out. They might miss their field goal, or they get a touchdown and they miss the extra point. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We saw it in the Houston Texans game. It's perfectly said there. Insecurities of other teams. Well, the Chiefs, damn it. It's no, they take advantage of everything.
Right.
The draft picking late, the penalties getting called late, the ability to do certain things that you can't do because you don't have 15. That's what the Chiefs consistently do that makes people hate them, but it's more so envy, which is just love disguised by hate.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Envy and jealousy has been around as long as time, right? And
two of the deadly sins.
Right, yeah. I mean, and people look at that and think to themselves, okay, this team is really, really good. I'm jealous of them, so they must be doing something wrong. Instead of saying, how can I get better and raise myself up, they want to bring everybody down. Look at social media. It's the biggest cesspool on planet Earth, right? Twitter, Facebook, all of that crap is just trash. And it's all about bringing everybody else down, or you posting to show somebody what you're doing and they're not. It's just so toxic. And that's what jealousy is. And I think there's a lot of toxicity out there in the NFL world because teams are we're just not as good as the Kansas City Chiefs at any level.
Yeah, I also don't believe that people, when they say they're not going to watch the Super Bowl, are lying. Bills fans lead the NFL fan bases of saying that they will boycott Super Bowl 59. I saw a great quote from Big Cat from Barstool yesterday. It says, if you're out there saying that you're going to not watch Super Bowl, you're an effing liar.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, look, was it New England and Atlanta when Tom Brady beat Mahomes in the AFC Championship game?
It was New England. No. Yes. Yeah.
Right? It was Cincinnati that beat
Mahomes.
And
Cincinnati and the Rams.
And that Super Bowl sucked because you know why I know that?
Because I watched it, yeah.
The Atlanta game against New England, you know how I knew New England came back? Because I watched.
Yeah.
Was I pissed that the Chiefs weren't there for a week?
The Patriots played the Rams when the Patriots beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
So the Rams were responsible for both.
It was 10-6. The Patriots won. Yeah.
Oh, that was like the worst Super Bowl ever.
Terrible Super Bowl. And I don't know if I did watch
Yeah.
that one. That one sucked.
So maybe I didn't watch it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That one was bad. I was thinking, but the Rams-Bengals one was pretty bad, too.
Yeah, it was better, but yeah.
10-6 is pretty piss poor for a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
rough.
it is. But
I might have watched, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I hardly remember.
I know
that
I watched.
game.
I've watched every Super Bowl since I've been alive.
I mean,
Same,
it's on. But like I do remember the Rams Bengals one because I watched that one just like kind of depressed. Like, this sucks. I have no interest in this.
Sad.
And kind of just sat there. And
but you go for you still go to the park. Somebody's having a Super Bowl party.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's having the food. You have an option to bring something, a side dish or a main dish. You're still going. You're still watching because there's still the commercials. There's still the theater that is the Super Bowl. So to say that you're not watching, because guarantee you, Bills fans, it's tough. But I bet they're rooting for Philadelphia.
No, I'm sure they are rooting for Philadelphia, as they should be. And BetOnline.ag has been tracking tweets that say boycott the Super Bowl and tracking them back to those fan bases. And they've tracked over 180,000 tweets.
Yeah.
And Buffalo fans have 24,816, ironically enough, people that have said they're not going to be watching the Super Bowl. 24,816, followed by the Ravens, Lions, Browns, Vikings, and Saints. The two fan bases that are going to be watching the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and Eagles. There are 347 tweets from Chiefs fans saying boycott the Super Bowl, and there are 582 Eagles fans that are saying boycott the Super Bowl. Why those two people or fan bases are saying that, I don't know, but it's funny when you start to look at the list of people that aren't going to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's all the teams that lost, and then Cleveland somehow is in there as well because I don't think Cleveland even knows what a Super Bowl is because they've never been to one.
I mean, they do have the best basketball team in the NBA.
Do you think they're on to that?
That's nice.
I think they've been on to that since I don't know, week one.
Can Bronny play for them?
Nah, he's still in LA.
What are we doing with that, by the way? I was watching a little bit of that the other night. That's like watching
just let it go. They had their moment. It's done. We all
really
know
good
it.
in the G League.
Yeah.
Well, that's where he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's got probably 2 to maybe 3 years to develop until he should probably come back.
Yeah, you look at a lot of guys are good minor league baseball players. Sometimes that's where you peak, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. I'll never play in the G League, so congrats to Bronny for making it. But what's going on in the NBA is embarrassing.
Yeah, just give me to June. Yeah, New England and the Rams. Yeah, I do definitely remember watching that because was that McVay, right? That was like his
McVay.
first year.
Yeah, first
and
year.
That's right. And he got Belichicked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back, and that's why Aaron Donald was like, "Give me my ring."
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. There was something there with him and
wasn't Aaron
Belichick.
Donald the MVP that year they went to the Super Bowl?
No, there hasn't been a defensive MVP since Taylor in
But he was
86.
DPOY.
Defensively. He was that's when he was in his run.
That was 3 in a row or something. Yeah.
Where he was the number one player in NFL countdown or top 100. I think he was number one. Maybe the next year. Yeah,
he definitely had 1 year like that.
Yeah, he was number. Yeah, God, he was a man.
Him and Tyreek, man.
Yep. Somebody's like, we all watched the Rams and Bengals for that epic halftime show. Was that the 50 Cent?
Oh, was that
Dr. Dre?
one? Oh,
Eminem?
okay. Yeah.
Was that one?
Sick, I think, right? Because the Chiefs weren't in that one.
Yeah.
And that was in L.A.
Yes.
Yeah, because they showed Snoop puffing the blunt before he went on the stage. I'm like, yeah, that's real. That's
awesome. NFL's not going to be happy about that.
And then 50 Cent came down. He was in the club, doing the chin ups or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a good halftime show.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah,
This halftime show this year is going to be amazing.
Yeah, LA, you bring out all the stars.
Yeah, it was the Dr. Dre. Either way, speaking of stars, I think another reason why people hate the Chiefs as we continue this, or they're envious of them, is the obvious, which is Taylor Swift. And I'm not here to tell you that you have to like her or love her music, but you can respect her, right? And she's, from what I saw, and again, I'm probably getting, tunnel vision from just a lot of algorithm that I follow on Twitter or whatever, that I keep watching. But you see her post game. I saw a video, she went up to Trey Smith and just hugged him and said hi. She went to players' parents or spouses that hadn't met her yet, and it's just hey, I'm Taylor, and they're like, yeah, I know, but you don't get that sort of vibe from her. She's kind of like the Chiefs, right? I understand why people might not like a certain artist that had some sort of scandal or had some sort of backlash towards stuff. I understand why people don't like Kanye West. Like, I understand why people may not like Will Smith or whoever it may be for the slap or whatever. But, like, Taylor Swift, really honestly, is always super professional. And Travis Kelce even said it. He's like, she's so easy at breaking the ice to people she's never met. And it's just like she's an average person. We watched the thing that she did in the hospital where she was like, just, hey, I'm Taylor. And then, like, she's like, do you want to do a TikTok video? And the kids are like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
But, like, you wouldn't know, like, that she's out here, doing all this stuff over the top. Like, you have Drake with the, Raptors.
Yeah, you
like,
see him all over the place, right?
But, like, Taylor's
and he's asking for it. Taylor's not asking for the camera. Taylor's not asking for the attention. Taylor's there to support her boyfriend and hopefully husband soon and watch him play football. That's all she's doing. She's not sitting on the bench. She's not making it known she's there. She's not acting like Drake does or Spike Lee with the New York Knicks or, some of these super fans.
And, like, I'll admit, she probably knows she's going to be filmed. Like, she's going to be on camera and all that. Like, so, yeah, that's there. But she's not, like, sitting there waiting like, here it comes.
No.
Hey.
No. She's not mugging the camera.
I think she's naturally just that person.
Right.
I've never met her. I've never had the opportunity. But I feel like if I did, I'd be like, Taylor's Dusty Likens, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you, Taylor Swift. And just be like, I just met somebody off the streets.
Right.
Like, I just met a normal person. I think that's the way she carries herself.
Yeah.
And I think that it's been shown. And I think that's another reason why, obviously, the nonstop attraction to the Chiefs, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And, like, the fandom where it's like, seriously?
Yeah, now you got this as well. Greatest quarterback, greatest coach, greatest tight end, greatest superstar of all time. Really, where else is this going to go, right?
Golden State got Kevin Durant. That's the straw that broke that camel's back. Like, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and now Kevin Durant. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, State Farm, everything, and Taylor Swift.
And the thing is, Taylor Swift has no impact on the football game whatsoever. Kevin Durant obviously can impact the game, so your hatred is fine. She's just there supporting her boyfriend. And it's not like she's bringing the camera crew and staging all this stuff and whatnot. Everybody's there waiting for her to arrive because they know it's click farming, essentially, is what it is. They know if they put up a Taylor Swift video, people are going to click on it, and they're going to get the clicks and all the attention on social media. So it's more about the people that are showing Taylor Swift than it is anything about Taylor Swift.
Somebody says on the text line, watch Kendrick Lamar bring out Taylor Smith to do Bad Blood.
That would be awesome.
You won't see her near the halftime show.
Absolutely not.
No. Not a chance.
No, she should be partying.
I just think that she's a good human being and she's, grounded. I think she's a little,
absolutely.
Right? I think
the Raptors with Drake.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it's like, you never see Taylor
fan.
Swift be like, I just put $1 million on the Chiefs.
Right, like, you don't see, like, she doesn't attract attention to herself at all. She's all about other people. I had heard the other day, $300 million in bonuses she gave out to her crew for the Eras tour.
That's right.
I mean, that's the kind of person we're talking about.
A personal letter.
So the hatred again is coming from what? Envy. It really is. At the end of the day,
there's a reason why it's a deadly sin.
Mm-hmm.
It kills a lot of people.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't be that way. Like, I've never had that. Like, you look at some things and go, I'd like to have that, and then you move on with your day.
Like, I wasn't the man I am today, but I didn't hate the Cowboys because Jessica Simpson went there and wore a pink Tony Romo jersey.
Who cares?
I was just like, dude, I was always in love with Jessica Simpson. I was like, man, Tony Romo's good at golf, football, and he has her. What am I doing wrong?
Great. Good for Tony Romo, right? But, I mean, I never lost my mind over it, and they showed her a lot during those Cowboy years.
It's like
he's not married to her anymore.
No, he's with the Mizzou girl. That's
right.
why he's in Columbia before the Chiefs.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smart guy.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dang it! We missed the gymnastics on SEC Network on Monday.
Damn.
It was LSU versus Mizzou.
Was Livy?
Of course.
Was she? Okay. All right. Cool.
Why do you think it was on the SEC Network?
I would have said if it was on the SEC Network, maybe she wasn't performing and doing the gymnastics routine. Now, if it was on ESPN.
Yeah.
The SEC Network, that's still a thing, huh?
Bob finally believes Dusty Likens. I never thought we'd get to the day, but I heard it from my own ears. We'll explain on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're getting ready to head out this weekend or maybe next weekend, or you got a trip planned in the future, you're going to need to park at Park and Go because at KCI, it is the best place to park. Park and Go has all covered parking. Every single spot at Park and Go is covered. So when you're gone during the winter months, you don't have to worry about your car getting iced over. Or when you're gone during the summer months, that sun will not beat down and ruin the interior of your car. You want it protected when you're out of town, so Park and Go is the spot for you. Once you make your flight reservation, make your parking reservation at bookparkandgo.com or with their easy-to-use app. Prepay, save money, get their lowest rate, and you're ready to go. Then you show up on the day of your trip, you give them your reservation number, they tell you exactly where to park because they've got the spot reserved for you. And as soon as you get into that spot, the van takes you right to the airport terminal. They're there before you even get out of the car. And when you get back, parking goes awesome. Just grab your bags, walk outside, jump on the bus, and boom, right back to the trunk of your car. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. We can help you save on the right oil for your vehicle. Right now, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Castrol Edge Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $35.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This weekly football preview is brought to you by MD Anderson Cancer Center.
The stage is set for the final game of the season in New Orleans. For the 3rd year in a row, Kansas City will play in the big game against Philadelphia, who is seeking their 2nd championship in franchise history. This will be a repeat of the 2023 matchup where KC edged out Philly by just 3 points.
At MD Anderson Cancer Center, we're doing whatever it takes to end lung cancer. Visit MDAndersonLungCancer.com to learn more.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Score the official Super Bowl game program now at superbowlprogram.us. On the Kansas side of Lenexa, if you're trying to get on K10 westbound, there's an accident on the combo ramp from 435 westbound and 35 southbound. Those ramps are pretty heavy with at least 3/4 mile delay on both. And now you're starting to see slowdowns coming on the 435 westbound main lanes. Really from around the 35 interchange over towards that exit. The Chiefs are going for the three-peat, and here is your chance to own a piece of history with the official Super Bowl game program delivered to your home. It's perfect for your Super Bowl party and a must-have for collectors. Order yours now at superbowlprogram.us. That's superbowlprogram.us. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
From the 816, people hate what they don't have. They hate the Chiefs because they don't have Patrick. They hate millionaires because they don't have that money. They hate Taylor because they don't have that celebrity status. What's the famous line from Badlands by Bruce Springsteen? You guys don't know it. Poor men want to be rich, rich men want to be kings, and a king isn't satisfied until he rules everything. That's life.
But you know what, though?
That's a different song and a different artist.
That's what all the people say. But here's the thing with all of that and the hate. Stop wasting that energy hating and use that energy to improve your lot in life. But again, it's 2025. We don't do that. We just bitch.
Or just start smoking weed, man.
I just can't. This is not fair. Well, what are you doing to make it better for you? Yeah. Well, I'm just going to complain about everybody else.
Okay. So you're about to complain.
Well, no,
are you going to be, first off, was I right?
You weren't right. You were more than right is. Like
nailed it. Somebody's got to be the guy. Text line, we need your help.
Yes.
This is not a sports topic, but it's fun.
It's a life topic.
We need your help. Go ahead, Mr. Fescoe.
Okay, so new email policy. They want us checking our company email more. I never check the company email because 99% of it are pitches from PR people asking if I want somebody to come on and talk about the pains to deal with diabetes, or inventing a new plastic bottle, or whatever it is. Like they're so irrelevant of the pitches that we get from these PR folks trying to get people on, I don't know, a sports show, right? So I'm like, I'm out. None of this is worthwhile. If somebody needs me, they got my number. They can find a way to get in touch with me. And so now they want us checking the company email more. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll get on there every once in a while and see kind of what's going on. And for months, Dusty has been talking about this guy we have in the office who's the reply to all guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, how real is this? Is this, over exaggeration from Dusty and whatnot? Oh my God!
No, he started firing away on our text.
I had 5,193 unread emails. Okay.
Yeah, that's like your fault.
I don't go there. It's not. It's just you know how many of them were worthwhile?
6.
I don't even know if it was that. I haven't gone through them all yet. I've already deleted about 1,000 of them.
You said 5,300.
I said 5,198 or something. 5,600, 2,500 minutes, right? So
one guy,
every message. 90% of the emails in my email box are reply to all guy. Like, and some of this is like the Christmas emails. Like we were hiding
that far back.
5,000. It goes back to probably
you're a popular
June.
guy though. I feel you probably get what? 40 emails a day?
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, because I don't know that I've checked that since the summer. Maybe even before that, right? And because again, 90% of it is this guy replying to all. Like Christmas, every email that is sent out by somebody in this building, this guy is replying to all.
Every single one.
Like they hid the elf. All we were playing hide the elf or whatever it is. Elf on the shelf around the office.
Congratulations to Sophie, you found the elf.
Right.
Come to your prize.
And then this guy, congratulations. Oh my God! Stop!
Yesterday they had one that said we'll be celebrating January birthdays with pizza, fun, and sweets. Come join us. Can't wait.
No, he did. Did he? No.
Oh yeah. Sounds great. Reply all. And what's funny, and I'm glad we're doing this. Jeez, I'm in tears. What's funny is I've been doing this. I've been saying this for 4 effing months.
I know you have.
And they brought it up on Cody and Gold show, and they had Dana Wright in their studio, and she's like, "Someone's gonna have to do it." And I'm like, "But that ain't gonna be me.
Who's gonna tell this guy? Like, who's supposed to tell this guy he's got to stop replying?
It's not Cody.
All.
It's not Cody's. Got way
more
sense.
I don't even know.
So, when we went to the holiday party, I was like, "Is this when I have the Larry David moment?" I was like, is this where I go, "Hey, man, nice to meet you. By the way, you kind of reply all." But again, I have the perfect excuse. I don't have the clout to do it. I've only been here for 5 days. Mm-hmm. You, Johnny, C-Dot, Dana, Parts.
A lot of those people that you're mentioning right now really don't check our company email all that much.
That's the problem.
And the problem is 5,700, 2,500 minutes. They're all replied all. Ooh, congratulations. Happy birthday. I can't wait.
It's not Carrington. Trust me.
Oh, no, it's nobody you know.
No, it's nobody you know.
If it was Carrington, we tell you it was. But
no one we know.
It's no one I know. But every freaking email is a reply to all.
Like, what's more impressive? Serious question. That it's every email still, or that nobody's gone to this person?
Nobody's gone and said, yeah.
Because
Were Cody and Gold talking about, you said with Dana on
they
there?
had their the fan club or whatever it was, and like Gold brought it up, and he's like, "Do you guys get like? Have you seen the reply?" And she's like, "Somebody's got to do it." And even her, right? Popularity, big show, afternoon host, like she's not doing it. So like, I don't know if this is like something where it's like a test to see who's trying to get fired first, because I don't know if you can necessarily get fired for that. But like, holy Lord, man! Like we go every day, 4 emails. Hey, congratulations, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday, cities. Happy birthday. There's food in the upper concourse. Yum. Like, dang it, dude. I'm losing my mind. I've only been doing this for
But honest to God, like they've been talking about this. I'm like, how bad can it? Oh my God, it's worse.
Yeah. I
Really
mean,
bad.
like, it was so funny seeing you come out of the woodwork yesterday in our text group, and he's like, you guys weren't kidding. Wait a minute. You seriously were not kidding. I was like, dude, I've been saying this since like November.
Well, and I used the word rude with you guys yesterday because I can't think of the right. It's not right. It's just not fair to sit here and do that and clog. And they always say you don't have to check it. Yes, but when you do check it and they're all there and it's getting in the way of something that could be important.
Like this happens in other people's jobs, right?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Oh, absolutely.
It has to, right?
Someone from the 816 says someone has to let that person know. Have Mac do it.
But like honest to God, like should they send out an email like, hey guys, let's limit the
No, it needs to come from somebody up. Like somebody's got to have clout.
We had someone say, whomever sends the email original needs to put the company in the BCC line. Don't know what that means.
You say BBC?
The BCC line? I don't know what that means.
Blind carbon copy where you can't see who it's being sent to. Does that help with the?
Maybe.
I'm just
let us know 816. Yeah. Their immediate supervisor needs to step in. That's what needs to happen.
I'm not calling anybody out that high.
You're not calling anyone out. Whole segment dictated.
As a teacher who gets mass school emails, people do this all the time. Okay, I guess this is a society we live in.
But why?
Laziness? They don't know it. They're not been told. Like there's two faults.
Well, it's not laziness because
you could go over and hit reply or reply. All you have to do is read the bottom line. I got in trouble once for a reply all message. Do you remember that?
I do, but yours was like
I was literally here for I had just gotten hired.
And you replied to the whole company,
That's right.
didn't you? Yeah. like not just here in Kansas City, like nationwide.
Did you hear about this, Mac?
No, what did you
So we lost a guest that talked baseball here.
Okay.
And our who Roxanne is now, that was the guy that sent the email.
Gotcha,
He's like,
gotcha.
so-and-so is no longer with the company. It is what it is, whatever.
Okay.
I hit what I thought was reply. I hit reply all, and I was like, man, that guy's really cool. A good guy. He's about to be really big. And I get an email back, and it's from the head honcho. And it just says, yeah, well, the sun will rise in the east and set in the west. My boss then, John Hanson, pulls me in his office. He goes, Dustman. I was like, what's up, John? He goes, maybe don't hit reply all. And I've never done it since. True story. Bob can back me on that, so I didn't make that up.
Unless it's like with like a couple of people and we're having a conversation. I never hit reply
the
all.
only time you do it, major announcement, wedding, marriage, retirement, or childbirth.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
right,
Even still, chances are you probably have that person's number that works here. Private text. Hey, man, congrats on the kid.
Man,
Congrats on the proposal. Congrats on retirement. Like, I mean, when Kling announced it, I went straight to the text. I said, F you, Kling.
Grandpa retiring now,
Finger. So, I don't know. We'll get back into sports on the other side,
But I mean, does anybody have a real solution other than somebody's just got to tell the guy, right?
One.
The BCC is all I'm seeing. Blind carbon copy.
Yeah.
And that eliminates the ability to reply to all.
Somebody says, have Binkley do it. That's perfect.
There we go.
That's perfect.
Let me tell you something. Stop the reply to all.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Every time you hit reply all, it sends a ding on my phone. I want to absolutely throw my phone across the room. Yeah, Big would be the perfect person.
My
to do
wife
it.
just texted me. I'll be more than happy to talk to this person.
No, it has to be somebody that deals with this every day.
But I think she gets a lot of replies to all at the school, too.
Oh, that's what somebody said.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
what I'm saying.
teachers,
Yeah,
every day.
Yep.
Let me tell you something about the reply all guy, Dustman from the 253. Take the day off. I mean, people act like that. He doesn't.
Bigley, if you're listening, you need to call in and weigh in on the reply all guy.
I guarantee you, Bigley gets it because every day you get this.
It's a big bundle of suck, Dustman.
See, he says Dustman all the time. I don't make that stuff up. You can't make up this stuff either. For the guy that told me that I was a clown earlier on the text line, you're probably going to love this next topic. And if you think I'm a Chiefs hater, I'm not. I'm just a realist. Trust me on this one. Just trust me. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, here we go, Missouri sports fans. Listen up because I've got great news for you. Underdog is available to play in your state. And Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off and which ones are ice cold. With over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athletes' performances. I love the Underdog app. I'm having so much fun on the Underdog app trying to figure out which players are going to be hot and which ones are going to be ice cold. And with the big game coming up next week, we're going to have some fun with it as well. So with their Champs game, you could win 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on a player's stats. And they've got all of your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. With Underdog's double flex option, you can even take 2 L's and turn them into a W. Underdog is the best place to play. Sign up and deposit now with promo code BOB to get 1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional 50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. It's promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bag all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Missouri sports fans, I've got good news. Underdog is available to play in your state. It's the best place to cash in all your takes during the playoffs, which players are going to go off and which ones are ice cold. With over 5 million happy players and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athletes. Whether you think they're going higher or lower, you can make those fire entries for a shot at real cash prizes all playoffs long. Underdog is the only Champs platform that puts the power of cash in your hands. Now you can either keep it riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the place to play. Sign up now and deposit with promo code TAP, T-A-P-P, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. That's promo code TAP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in this state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
At David's Bridal, love is in every stitch. From the initial sketch to the final details, each style is designed with exquisite craftsmanship. Every wedding gown, bridesmaid look, prom dress, and special occasion style in between features handcrafted details filled with love. Come see the magic in person. Book an appointment and sign up for Diamond Loyalty to save 15% on your first purchase. Earn points towards special rewards and more at davidsbridal.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. On the Kansas side of Lenexa, if you're trying to get on K10 westbound, accident on the combo ramp from 435 westbound to 35 southbound. Left lane is blocked, now affecting the main lanes of 435 westbound back into the I-35 interchange, but I-35 unaffected. Right now at Metro Ford, you won't find a better selection of F-150s in the city, plus $8,000 off 2024 Explorers and Escapes, all ready to drive off the lot today with a lifetime powertrain warranty. But these deals won't last. Visit kcmetroford.com or stop by Metro Ford on Noland Road in Independence. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to the home of the back-to-back-to-back AFC champion, Kansas City Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2. Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Right back at it, 7 o'clock on a Thursday. Never thought a reply all conversation would get everybody involved.
My phone is blowing up from everybody who works in an office and what you can do. And
that's right.
My wife texted me. She said, our principal at school always puts in every email, do not reply to all. Another friend of ours texted in and said there's some sort of lockdown where only certain people can reply, and they've got certain functions with that. But, like, it's just common sense. At this point, it's 2025.
At this point, I think somebody's in on it. All right, so just found out via Adam Schefter 7 years ago today, the Kansas City Chiefs traded Alex Smith to then the Washington Redskins in exchange for a draft pick and Kendall Fuller.
Terrible trade. What did we get out of that?
And it would be the pathway started for one young Patrick Mahomes.
How come nobody hates Alex Smith for his role in Patrick Mahomes nationally, right? Like, Alex is on TV and he's awesome on television, like, so good. And you knew he would be, but he's phenomenal on TV. But, like, nobody says, Alex, you helped this guy, right? Like, where's the hatred for Alex Smith in all of this? Because he was the ultimate teammate with what he did. And, look, he got paid in D.C., too. I think he got $80 million to be traded to Washington. And, obviously, the leg situation happened and was awful. But, I mean, Alex Smith is a consummate pro and did everything right. You know, we have so much, gratitude for Alex Smith, I think, in this town after he's played than when he was playing. I remember when he was playing, people were like, he's not that good. But Alex Smith is a really damn good quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is just a great quarterback.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those things where great athletes don't make great head coaches because their naturally God-given talent has let them go throughout life, right? Yeah. Peyton Manning's not a coach, but he's a hell of an executive, right? Or however you want to look at it. Tom Brady's not a coach, but he's paving his way through what he can do.
I mean, George Brett as the hitting coach is the prime example.
Yeah, and you look at guys like Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, perfect example. Was a quarterback good, right? Went to a couple Pro Bowls, won some playoff games, won against the Chiefs, but, like, never was great. So he had to do things to get better.
Right, it's 2 day.
That's right. Locked, cocked, ready to rock.
And see, I think a lot of that is, though, like, these athletes that are so good, like the George Bretts, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, it just comes natural and easy to them, right?
Yeah.
Like, George can't teach, hitting because he just did it, And then Patrick Mahomes, like, you can't teach what Patrick Mahomes does because it's unteachable. It's natural.
So I will say this. There's something that, is special about, like, being able to relate it and to a point that is, easy to, I guess, transition to the field. So, like, when Alex Smith was here, which he did something that is unheard of by a lot of quarterbacks, which is basically like, hey, this guy that's like 10 years younger than you, who's going to be more talented than you, who's the future of this team, we need you to, like, kind of get him to speed and he's going to take over your job. Brett Favre was an ass about it. Aaron Rodgers was an ass about it. Ben Roethlisberger was an ass about it. All these guys are like, I'm not doing that. Nobody did that for me. It's like, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. And Alex Smith is always brought up, and I've said this 1,000 times, and Patrick Mahomes is in every season. Like, yeah, it always goes back to, Alex teaching me this. Like, taught him how to read zones, taught him how to know in situational times. Like, hey, there's going to be a time where they're going to send this. You'll be able to see it because this is what they do. But what Alex Smith didn't have to teach him is, how to throw it 100 yards, how to throw it, on a dime, rolling out to your left, sideways, underarm, left-handed, all this stuff. So, again, Patrick Mahomes is great, and we know that. And he's going to eventually be the greatest of all time. But unfortunately, I do think even if he does win a three-peat, he's not quite there to get to Tom Brady. And what I mean by that is Patrick Mahomes is not 30 years old yet.
That's right.
That's an advantage on his side. Tom Brady, you could argue, had 3 different Hall of Fame careers. And Patrick Mahomes has had a Hall of Fame career. Like, if he ended it after a three-peat, was like, nobody else can compete, I'm done, first ballot, first time he's available, he's there.
He was a first ballot Hall of Famer per Therese Paylor after winning that Miami Super Bowl.
Okay.
5 years ago, Therese said he's a first, and that was year 2 of Patrick Mahomes.
And I'll respect
he's already
that.
in.
I'll respect
and Therese was a voter at the time.
Right. But I think Mahomes, which is an advantage, it's not a disadvantage. I think Mahomes is still too young to be the greatest of all time. Because, I'm sorry, but he's kind of done the reverse of Tom Brady's career. Tom Brady won, when he was like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And then when he got to like that 07 year with Randy Moss, it was like the ceiling was off. It was like, okay, this guy actually can do it. And I was listening to Andy and Colin Cowherd yesterday on Andy Reid on The Herd. And Colin brought up a good point. He's like, when we talked about Brady, we didn't talk about like powerful arm, doing the improvisation. It was like, this guy's just a stone cold killer that knows how to win and play situation. Like, how many times you watch Tom Brady game? 5 yard out, 3 yard over, 4 yard out. It was just chip, Vinatieri field goal. Mahomes is going to eventually get there. But that's when the other part of his career will start. Like, this era that is this 25 to 30-year-old man, like, the dude's still kind of a kid.
Yeah, he is.
Which is a baby goat. Right? No pun intended. A lot of pun intended. So his window is going to be open for 10 more years. Brady, when he got to like 35 to 40, was another Hall of Fame career. Also from when he was 30 to 35 and 25 to 30. Mahomes is 1/3 of that. So he's got a lot of time. He will get there because he will play that long. I even think, even with a three-peat, I still don't think, I know a lot of people will. It's fine if you do, but I think he's got to have more time to consider to be that because the numbers are going to come, the titles are going to get close, especially with the three-peat, something that nobody's ever done. But what this will do is it will literally close the gap of everyone below him, which I think is more impressive that we don't take advantage of. No more Joe Montana, no more Peyton Manning, no more anybody below him. It's Brady, it's Mahomes, and the race is on.
Yeah, and see, I do think he becomes the greatest of all time because he is doing things that we have never seen before, right, on the field. Like, just from the way he throws, the way he runs, the way he leads, all of this kind of stuff. He's the perfect quarterback. And to me, the winning the 3 in a row is the ultimate trump card for everybody in the sport right now. Like, nobody has been able to accomplish something. And when you can accomplish it and get to that point and do it as quickly as Patrick Mahomes has done it, I'm like, yeah, that's greatness right there. Like, the league for Patrick Mahomes was never too big for him, Dusty, right? Like, you see a lot of these guys come up from the minors in baseball and struggle at the plate and have to adjust, and the league adjusts to them and all that. You see guys in the NFL go from college to the pros and not hit the ground running and struggle and not, play well, especially at the quarterback position. Patrick Mahomes came into the NFL, and from the minute he threw a real pass in a real game to where we are today, he's virtually been unstoppable, and he's virtually had the league adjusting to him. And every time the league finally caught up with Patrick Mahomes, he adjusted back. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I think, more so than the championships, is that the league took, 2 or 3 years to really figure Patrick Mahomes out. Then they did. He adjusted his game. Then they figured out him again. He adjusted his game. Like, the way that he's played over these last 5 or 6 years is kind of reminiscent to what Tom Brady did through his entire 20-some-year career. Because when Brady came into the NFL, it was not a passing league. It was a running league. It was a defensive league. And then as the league changed, Tom Brady changed, right? Got Botox, his face looked good, got the hair done, all that kind of stuff. Supermodel, and then kind of took off and captured that passing league, where he was with Randy Moss in that era, and then goes on to Tampa and does his thing down there. So Tom Brady is a guy who's changed with the league, but Patrick Mahomes is the guy who has the league changing more so than any other player that I've seen at the quarterback position, and maybe really since Lawrence Taylor, when the league had to change and adjust to somebody who could blitz the quarterback like he did on the defensive side. The league has had to change to Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't changed to the league much.
So let's see here. I'm trying to look at Brady's numbers. So we'll say, I don't know, what do you think, Mac? Probably 2005 when he was 28 is when he kind of started to kick in. He was, that's when he threw for 4,000 yards for the first time.
What year was that?
2005. He was 28.
Yeah,
so he had played 4 years as the starter before then.
And then go back and look, because there used to be this weird stat out there about there was never a 4,000-yard passer in the NFL. And like somebody hit 3,000 yards one time, years and years ago. Like, oh my God, 3,000 yards. And then they hit 4,000 yards in the NFL. You're like, oh my gosh. So that's kind of when the league started to move more towards a passing league.
Yeah, because when Marino did it in '84, he threw for 5,000.
Yeah.
And everyone was like,
that was
what is this?
Such an outlier.
Yeah.
And it still is.
Who is this alien?
He's incredible.
Mahomes hasn't done that yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
5,000? Yeah,
twice.
No, but I mean, I don't know that he'll do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't need to. He's done it twice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Like, I don't need.
But that's it. I mean, that's been. I meant to say that's been it. Like Marino and Mahomes. There's nobody really else
Brady
that's been in
and
that 5,000-yard category.
Brady and Manning did it. Brady did it. That's what's even more impressive is Brady did it at the age of 44.
Yeah, Brady did it a couple times, right?
Once.
Or just once?
Okay. Twice.
Yeah,
He did it in 11. He threw for 5,200. And then in 2021, he threw for 5,300, 43 touchdowns.
Yeah,
So,
and that's, again, that was the passing league era. But he's adjusted with the league.
Right.
Mahomes has made the league adjust to him.
Yeah, he's tiger-proof the league.
Yeah, he really has, yeah.
Our guy, Ben Maller, will join us here on the other side, here on Fescoe and Dusty and Mac on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I know everybody's making plans for the big game. Include Smokehouse Barbecue in your game day spread, because let Smokehouse cater. They can do it all for you, and they have a big game party pack special going on right now. It's going to serve 6 to 8 Chiefs fans, and you're going to get 2 pounds of brisket, a pound of wings, a quart of mac and cheese, and a quart of their hickory pip beans plus buns for just $89.95. And like I said, that serves up to 8 fans, and everybody will be fed well on game day. You got the biggest game coming up. You want the best and biggest spreads, so Smokehouse Barbecue is going to set you up for that. And also, we got Valentine's Day coming up as well. I know we're all caught up on the big game and whatnot, but Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and Smokehouse Barbecue is the perfect spot to celebrate Valentine's Day. They got their Hogs and Kisses again this year. Dinner for 2 for $59.95 gets you an appetizer, baby back ribs, pork spare ribs, bone-in chicken, burnt ends, pulled pork, 2 large sides, and a dessert to share. So check them out at smokehousebbq.com or visit one of their 3 locations, Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. Again, smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity, your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane, or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
It's the new year. Time to make a positive change in your life.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted. Not available in Washington State.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to 1 player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Planning to propose this Valentine's Day? Shane Company has your back. Our easy process to create your dream engagement ring is rock solid. 1. Pick your ring setting. 2. Choose your center stone. 3. Personalize it. With our wide selection of beautiful settings and hand-picked diamonds and gemstones, all at competitive prices, your ring will be as unique as your love story. We'll handset your ring in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store and protect it with our free lifetime warranty. Walk in with a dream, walk out with the ring that will take their breath away. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The 65th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels Custom Car Show. January 31st through February 2nd, Marble Hall, Kansas City. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. See America's finest hot rods, customs, trucks, and motorcycles. Features and guest appearances. Cars and stars. All weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels Custom Car Show. January 31st through February 2nd, Marble Hall, Kansas City. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Lenexa, if you're trying to get on K10 westbound, accident on the combo ramp from 435 westbound and I-35 southbound. The left lane is blocked as you transition onto K10. And now it's backed up onto 435 westbound. The main lane is affected with delays that stretch not quite back into the interchange with I-35. I-35 north and southbound unaffected. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
It is that time of the week where we talk to our guy Ben Maller of Fox Sports Radio. It's all brought to you by The Landing in Liberty. And, of course, you can catch Ben overnights right here on 96.5 The Fan. And, Ben, how's America reacting on your show to this Super Bowl matchup that we saw 2 years ago, but quite honestly seems very compelling to me? I love it. What do your guys think?
Well, you're slightly biased. You're in the belly of the beast, Bob, I think. But no, it is national outrage. It is neurosis. People are beside themselves. They are convinced the fix is in, that the NFL is making sure the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. It's all rigged. And I tried to point out to people, I want you to know, I've tried to be a voice of reason overnight. And I've said, listen, it's not true. I don't believe it. And I've given some numbers that have been out and about, that it's the illusionary truth syndrome, but people don't want to hear it. People are getting upset at me. They're attacking me, saying I'm in the tank because of your show, because of you, Bob and Dusty. They say that I am a shill for the Kansas City Chiefs. I've gotten emails from people complaining about this, that since you go on every week in Kansas City, that's why. But no, if I thought, you've known me a long time, Bob, and Dusty, you know me for a shorter time, but we've known each other. If I thought there was some real legitimate funny business, I would point it out. That's great talk radio. That's wonderful radio. Unfortunately, I don't believe that's going on.
No, it definitely is not going on. The Chiefs are just better than everybody else, and nobody can figure out how to stop it. But I don't remember this vitriol, Ben, really, with New England. I don't remember New England derangement syndrome. It doesn't feel like there was as much hate early on for the Patriots as there is right now for this Chiefs team.
Yeah, the thing I remember about the Patriots is, like, whenever they would win, it would be like, well, that they must have cheated or done something, some funny business. There was derangement with the Patriots also. It's a lot different because, not that Brady wasn't on TV, but you can't watch an NFL game, whether the Chiefs are in it or not, without Andy Reid, Mahomes, or Kelce all over your TV. So not only are they on during the game, they're on every commercial break. So it's getting, if you don't really like those guys, you're annoyed by them, you can't get away from them. So there's some of that, but it is next level. And my theory, I have my own theory, that a lot of this is being driven by people who are engagement farming online, because they give you part of the story, they don't give you the whole story. So as we know, being in the media, if you want, you can manipulate any story. It's called a lie by omission. You leave certain things out. I thought Mitch Holthus had a great comment on social media. He pointed out that the Chiefs were 17th, right? The stat he sent out, 17th in drives aided by penalty, while Buffalo was number one. But to me, the lead story, guys, was that Josh Allen had the ball. He's supposed to be the MVP this year. A little over 3 minutes to go. It shouldn't come down to a fourth down play. You're supposed to be the top quarterback in the NFL. Go down and score a touchdown. And he failed, and he's getting a total pass.
He is.
No one's ripping Josh Allen. Everyone's like, well, it's the referees. But what about Josh Allen? What part of the culpability does he have? So
yeah, well, the interesting thing about that to me, I thought was funny, and Dusty, I don't know if you caught this one as well, but it started making its way around the internets. There was 3:33 to go in the game. Every post-game interview that the Chiefs posted on their social patterns was 3 minutes and 33 seconds long.
Nice. That's good. That's stealth ninja-like trolling. I like that. Ninja-like, and also 3:33, half the sign of the devil. So you could mix that in there as well. There you go. There's multiple layers to this cake.
You sly guy. Ben, I do want to bring this up because it's interesting how many different storylines there are. I think that's what this week is meant for us hags that are blowhards and radios, to find as many as we can, or you just go with what it is. But Andy Reid, Philadelphia, obviously that tie, the three-peat action that is Patrick Mahomes in this playoff run, but also it's kind of weird that in the midst of winning 4 Super Bowls overall for Patrick Mahomes, he would have only beaten 2 teams. Is that kind of the reason why I think a lot of people are like, I don't want to watch this because I've seen it before? Like, Brady played the Rams, the Giants, the Eagles, all the other teams, but yet the Chiefs and the Patrick Mahomes run, it's San Francisco 49ers, Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, Eagles.
Yeah, it is bizarre how that has worked out. I don't think that's as big a thing, but you do want new teams, right? That's just in general. Like, if you're not a fan if you're outside Kansas City or Philadelphia, maybe not Philadelphia is a good example, but outside Kansas City, you're like, I want to see somebody else. I don't want to see the same worn out storylines. It's obviously much different. The Eagles are a much different team with Saquon Barkley this year, so that changes things. But it's just the general. It's like, this is going to be the team. You think of all the legends in the NFL. You think of Montana and Brady and all these all-time great players, and this is the team that's going to be the first in the Super Bowl era to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. That's really annoying. You got Andy Reid chasing the all-time wins record and closing in. Before you know it, he's going to have that record. This is a historical all-time run the Chiefs are on right now, and people are annoyed by it. They're annoyed by it, but I don't think the matchups per se are behind that. I think it's just the whole general, they're numb to the Chiefs because they've been overwhelming the last couple of years.
Yeah, but Ben Maller, people say they're numb to the Chiefs, and then you look at the TV ratings. Only their games were up in ratings this year for the NFL playoffs. Every other game was down from where it was a season ago. 57 million people watched the Chiefs and Bills, the highest rated AFC championship game. I mean, they just continue to set records. So if people are truly tired of them, they're not showing it because everybody's showing up on the TV set when they play.
All right, so how about the vocal minority? How about that? Not the majority, the vocal minority. The very loud people banging on drums and their smartphones and posting nasty stuff and calling radio shows like mine and, sending me messages and all that. But they're very loud. They have a high volume with their complaints and all that. Of course, the counter argument is, well, the Chiefs are getting ratings because the Swifties are on. They're the ones watching, and they want to watch. See Taylor on there, and hopefully Travis Kelce will make catches so they can show Taylor Swift on TV and all that. I did love the Eagle fans. I don't know if you guys talked about this. The Eagle fans who are triggered because Taylor Swift's dad was at the game at Arrowhead wearing a Chiefs jacket, and he's supposed to be an Eagles fan, and so this is like a fan violation. They're very upset. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on. It's your daughter. She's the one that's the breadwinner in the family. Of course you're going to go where she is. And she's probably going to marry Travis Kelce, so why would you not go there?
Yeah, being from Philadelphia, and then you turn your back on them because you're kids. How dare you? It's an evil thing to do. Ben, you've been watching sports quite a while. Patrick Mahomes, what does he mean to Ben Maller?
Well, he provides me content several times a week. So for that, I'm very grateful. No, he's wonderful. When I was a kid, I'm of the age where I saw Joe Montana. I thought no one would be better than Joe Montana. And then Tom Brady came around. I was like, all right, Tom Brady. And now it's like the next incarnation of the quarterback. And it's been great to watch. I mean, I like everyone else, I had questions when he came out of Texas Tech. I was like, I don't know how good this guy's going to be. And then they didn't play him right away. And no, he's wonderful. It's a chef's kiss to watch him play. And because unlike the thing about this, we talked about Josh Allen, guys, and how 333 couldn't get it done. Most of these guys don't get it done. Mahomes very rarely doesn't get it done. If the Chiefs get the ball in the Super Bowl down by a field goal with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left, chances are they're going to probably score a touchdown. If not, they're at least going to get a field goal. Like, you feel like 85, 90% confident, where a lot of these other guys, like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, even Joe Burrow, who I like, you don't feel that confident. Like, he's still not going to get it done. But Mahomes, because he's been so good for so long, it's like he's reliable. He's dependable. It's like, he's going to get it done for you.
Yeah, you do, and that's the beauty of it. And it goes all the way back to that 13-second game. Even before that game, we knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to be able to get it done. And I said to these guys on Monday, I said, if Patrick Mahomes is in that situation with 3:33 to go down 3, we win by 4. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that's going to happen. And that's where I get so upset with all of these people all regular season talking about, how great Josh Allen is. He really isn't. He's a Joe,
Well, he was good during the regular season. I'll give him that. But this is, as they say they said in baseball, legends are made in October. Well, in the NFL, legends are made in January and soon to be February here when we flip the calendar. And that's where that's where the rubber meets the road. And so these guys haven't been able to get it done, where Mahomes consistently has been able to be head and shoulders above everyone else in that. And listen, this is not going to continue forever. At some point, he'll probably lose a game he should win, and nothing lasts forever. But you got to ride the magic carpet ride as long as it'll take you, and there's no end in sight right now. I mean, they win this year. You figure they're going to spend some money in the offseason, improve the team a little bit, fatten up in certain areas, and where does it end? You have no idea, but they obviously have to win Super Bowl 59 before they can worry about number 60.
When it comes to this, I guess this Super Bowl, it is, the best team in the NFC, what I think would be basically all year outside of Detroit, maybe. I think Minnesota was good, but I don't know if they were Philadelphia or Detroit good. Best team in the AFC all season. Again, I don't understand the hatred of the people that say, well, I'm just not going to watch. I think those people are liars. I think those people are full of it. I think everybody watches. But what is, when you look at these two teams, how do you see this game being played out, I guess, when we have a week and a half to go?
Yeah, so I think it'll be a close game. Eagles, I probably will have the lead, much like they did last time at halftime. I think the different dynamic is Saquon Barkley, obviously, and see how the Chiefs are able. If you're able to bottle him up, then you're okay. I look at the Rams, who I think are not as good as the Chiefs, obviously, but the Rams had a shot to beat the Chiefs, and they ran the ball. They had, mixed the run and the pass, and they on the road in bad weather, they had a shot to win the game in the final seconds. Now, everyone was all excited because Philadelphia blew the doors off Washington in the NFC Championship game. But I think the Ram game is more of what we're going to see, where you have Mahomes is better than Stafford, even though I'm a Rams fan, let's be honest. So you got the better quarterback. You've got the defense, which is better than the Rams defense. So I think it'll be more like that, where it'll be a fourth quarter game. And who are you going to bet on? Are you going to bet on Mahomes? Are you going to bet on Jalen Hurts? Can the main thing for the Chiefs is, and you guys are going to talk about this nonstop between now and the Super Bowl, is limit the 50-plus yard runs from Barkley. He's had so many of those. It's insane. He had 3 of them against the Rams. He had the first carry against the Washington team. He went for 60 yards last week. Just keep him to a reasonable amount of yardage, and you're probably going to win the game. You're going to hold Philadelphia to field goals. You'll be okay.
Ben, we appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the Pro Bowl and get excited to see Patrick Mahomes raise the Tom Brady trophy yet again.
All right, guys. Enjoy New Orleans.
There he is, our guy Ben Maller, brought to you by the Landing in Liberty.
How many emails did you delete during that?
About 500, I think. I started to go through. I'm down to 3,576 right now. 3,576. I started with 5,193 or something like that. Boy, there are a lot of reply alls, man. Here's one from October 6, 2024. Yeah. Subject matter, cold filtered water. He replied to all.
Delicious. I told
Refreshing.
You, man. Yeah. I thought Bob would hit a reply that says, about time.
Awesome. Looking forward. They put in a new water fountain. Why do you need to reply to all to say the new water fountain's ready? Ooh, good job. Yay.
Mac, I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Fescoe, but he does these rants every once in a while. We are into one right now.
This may go down with the apple picking one. Here's one from October 5th. It's Friday and life is good in KC. Thank you.
Well, we're getting ready to get an email in 26 minutes. So you can delete all you want, but there's about 2 more fires coming at you. Because it's 8 o'clock every day from the sweetheart we call Joe. Then we have the Adam Schefter in the building. Quote tweet.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, like Schefter, yeah.
Chiefs are going to wear the white jerseys from the Chiefs website. They're going with white.
Right.
Thanks, Adam.
No, but the thing about Schefter is source. No, that was the press release we all got, Adam. I don't think Adam understands, they send these press releases out to everybody.
Pro Football Talk had an article that Nick Sirianni, that guy, let me hear you now, Chiefs fans, that he's going to do some things different and tweak the offense a bit from this Super Bowl to the last.
Well, he didn't have Saquon Barkley in the last one.
So that's cute. So are the Chiefs.
Shouldn't
everybody? So I don't know really what that really was about.
Of course, and once you get to the Super Bowl, this is where I think the Chiefs have an advantage over whoever they play, even though they played the same team, as you mentioned with Ben, twice now, Philadelphia twice and San Francisco twice. The Chiefs have their game plan, and it's funny when you hear people talk. They go, "Well, we're going to roll out our Super Bowl playbook," and like they actually have a Super Bowl playbook because they've been 4 times in the last 5 years, so they have an order of ways that they're going to do things, and obviously you make tweaks and changes along the way. But the Chiefs were ready to go for the Super Bowl in October. Like they had their plan and it was ready to go because they had been there so long. It doesn't surprise them, and I think the Eagles will be, Dusty, in a better position this year because it is their second time in 3 years. They know what that experience, at least the coaches know what that experience is like and what they're going to have to deal with.
Do you guys have? I don't really know how you are on this. Like, I don't know if you're in a superstition or just a little stitious or whatever it is. Do you guys have things? Because you've been in Tennessee. Like, did you do how do you do Super Bowls normally? Obviously, we're all tweaking how we do it this year. We're going to be giving the people a live shot at New Orleans as much as we can, trying to help out, bringing Nolans to Kansas City.
Heck yeah.
But did you have a tradition?
Yeah, I mean, me and my oldest brother watched everyone together, but I was in 3 different. I was in college for one, then I was working in Wyoming for another, then I was back in Nashville for the next one. So 3 different places, but everyone I was with. This will be the first one I don't watch with my brother.
Oh my goodness, that's not a good sign. Then
I know.
That is just not a good sign.
We watched
right?
Tampa Bay together, so
okay,
we recovered. We recovered fine.
You recovered just fine for that. No, I think that I think everybody kind of has their deal. I
mean, do you, the wife, and the kids just sit in the basement and watch it?
A lot of times we watch different places because she reacts, the wrong way.
And you just can't do it.
Come on, we've seen this before. There's 3:33 to go. It ain't Josh Allen out there. Okay, we're gonna be just fine. And so she like wears her emotions on her sleeve, and she's more superstitious than I am about this stuff. I'm like, I got Patrick Mahomes. I don't need anything to be superstitious about. Like, those days are done. I think you have the superstitions when things don't go your way, and you can, I didn't eat that bucket of chicken like Wade Boggs used to do, or whatever it was, or whatnot. But now for me, I'm like, my superstition is number 15. He takes care of everything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the least superstitious person there is. Like, I was the guy that when I played Little League Baseball, a lot of kids would think, I don't know if they did it because it's cool, where they jump over the line.
Oh, baseball loves that.
I would run my foot through it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, swear.
You're like, screw you.
Oh, that's verboten in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, wow.
You see all these athletes leap over the line. Somebody's going to blow an Achilles one day doing that. Some large fat guy out of the bullpen. He's going to jump over the line. Oh, my arm!
A guy did it in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah,
he tried to jump over the sideline, blew his Achilles. Literally, it happened last year.
That's right, it did. Yes.
Ruined their defense.
I am honestly surprised a middling reliever did not do that already, right?
But normally, like, what we do is we go to my buddy Tyler's house, and he gets lasagna. And we've always given him crap about it. Like, why do you get lasagna for a Super Bowl? He goes, because we got it the first year, and they won, and I'm not changing the recipe. So it's lasagna and meatballs, which I've always griped about it on After Hours. I'm like, you do pizza, you do like snacks, you don't do lasagna.
I like lasagna.
But do you eat it right when you get there at 2:00 and then it's sitting in your gut and you gotta wait? And then do you eat it later when it's cold?
With the drinking too, it's a lot. Yeah.
Not everybody boozes, I get that. But for Super Bowl, I'm like, the last thing I want to do is fill up and then try to watch. And then another thing I don't want to do is, and again, I'm griping. I get it. I understand I'm being annoying. But it's a tradition. I would eat it cold. I would have a meatball at halftime or 2, whatever it was. But obviously this year will be different. I'm interested to know if people do have a superstition when it comes to Super Bowl. Because I know a lot of people, when it first started, I get this a lot on the text line, they would say, yeah, first year went, everybody's excited. Then when they won the second one, I stayed home and watched it with my significant other or my closest friends, and I enjoyed it more, so we do that now. It's...
So back to the lasagna for a second, because
reply all yum.
Yeah.
There's lasagna in the upstairs
and that
fridge.
may be a bit, the reply all
Delicioso.
segment. Who eats lasagna? Honestly,
I love it.
Do you eat it a lot? Is lasagna something that you think, oh, okay, let me make a lasagna or get one from the store or anything like that?
It's a twice-a-year thing.
I was literally about to say twice a year.
Maybe twice a year, right? Okay. If that. But anytime somebody's sick or somebody dies, 85 Stouffer's lasagnas show up on your front doorstep.
That's so true.
And that's no knock. Everybody appreciates the help and whatnot. But I don't eat lasagna. Most of us don't eat lasagna. But if there is a death or a surgery and they're doing these meal trains or what, everybody's showing up with lasagna. Yeah. You don't eat lasagna on the reg. Why are we eating it now? Because somebody died.
Garfield who died.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And apparently other people that are listening, they know my friend Tyler. They're like, you're not going to be there this year. Is he still going to do it? He has to. He's doing it. He sent the Evite out that he does every year, and he's going to have lasagna and meatballs. It will be there like it is every single. You have to do it. If you had gefilte fish and they won, guess what you're having until they lose?
Yeah.
Gefilte fish.
Yeah.
Vegemite sandwich.
Oh, that'd be tough. That'd be with you from the start to the end.
And then during the parade 3 days later, that thing will still be floating around.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Traditions. Or whatever you have, like you have something that you have to do. Somebody says, 2 superstitions I have. I get really drunk and I wear the same shoes for each Chiefs Super Bowl. I didn't wear them for the Tampa Bay one, and I've had them on since, and I haven't had them on since. Or I wore a different pair. Yeah. No, I don't know. I eat lasagna probably twice a year. But when my mom passed away, dude, this was crazy. So my buddy sent me 3 pizzas from Chicago, Illuminati's. Got 3 of those. Awesome. But then it was crazy. I kept getting delivered pizza for like the next 3 days. Like it'd be pizza would show up like, yeah, I have a large pizza for Dusty. I'm like, yeah. And then like in my fridge, it was like 3 boxes from 3 different places, like Funhouse, Pizza Hut, Minsky's. And then there was 3 frozen pizzas, Illuminati's. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like
a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
Yeah, but it's that or lasagna. It's crazy, man. Like lasagna, like I love Jasper's lasagna. It's great, but I'm like, I'm not ordering lasagna or thinking about lasagna, but I mean, somebody dies, and my God, everybody runs to the store and gets you frozen Stouffer's.
Which is good.
Yeah. Nothing can come closer to home.
Somebody says, I get on the top of my roof, and I Stone Cold Steve Austin Busch Lights. I did the first year, and now I'm stuck in the cycle and having to do it every year. I do that like every other Friday. I did it when they blocked the kick against Denver. Bob FaceTimed me with Ben Mallard. I was like literally stone cold.
I mean, I haven't behaved like that in a long time after that Denver game. I mean, it was just, everything just was like.
Wait till Friday night next week. Somebody says, Funhouse Pizza good. It's delicious. Get the big head. Yes, that's the name. It's cheese, pepperoni, jalapenos, and then more cheese and pepperoni on top. That's what it is, baby. Coming up on the other side, smash or pass. Couldn't lead up to that any better than that. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, attention Missouri sports fans, I've got great news for you because Underdog is available to play in your state. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs, which players are going to go off and which ones are going to be ice cold. And with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athlete performances. And Underdog's great because with their Champs game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on a player's stats when it comes to yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and more. And they've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. And Underdog is the only Champs platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap Win Now to cash out whenever you want. We love the Underdog app. I can't wait for next week when we start to see what's going to happen with some of the players in the big game and some of the wagers we can make. Underdog is the best place to play. Sign up and deposit now with promo code BOB to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. That's promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Attention car shoppers, Kevin Harlan here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City. Hey Rob, what's going on?
We are making 2025 the best year in Rob Seid Ford history, and we are doing it with 4 simple steps.
Simple is what I love most about Rob Seid Ford. So Rob, what's the plan?
It starts with Rob Seid Ford's non-commissioned sales staff, Kansas City's lowest prices on brand new Fords, the best trade-in values, the biggest selection we've ever had. With those 4 steps, it is my personal mission to make Rob Seid Ford the easiest, most value-driven Ford dealership in Kansas City. No BS.
That's why Rob Seid Ford is the only dealership I'll send my friends and family to. But you're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
Rob Seid Ford is Kansas City's top-rated Google Ford dealership.
Good call. Can't forget about that. Check out Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City at 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It starts as a nuisance and you just put up with it, but then that awful joint pain impacts everything in your life. Walking, climbing stairs, even getting in and out of the car hurts. Hey, it's Bob Fescoe. I'm talking about that always there joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. But here's the good news. QC Kinetics. Groundbreaking treatments for arthritis pain. Long-term relief is now possible with no downtime. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients would tell you, don't wait, make the call today. These new orthobiologic cellular therapies, including PRP treatments, can revitalize your joints without going under the knife. Look, joint pain doesn't get better with time, so before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for these life-changing regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, I-70 westbound, accident under the Blue Ridge Boulevard overpass. Left lane is blocked. Delays from 470 and building. Earlier problem on the Kansas side, and Lenexa has cleared. The ramps from 435 westbound to K10 westbound move well. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan traffic.
A lot of lazy G's out there, a.k.a. lasagna lords. Somebody says, dude, now I need to go buy a Stover's lasagna because I'm craving it.
I actually kind of am craving lasagna, too.
Well, you know where to find some.
Yeah.
I've never seen Stover's lasagna. Huh. Okay, yeah, it's good. Must be culturally specific. I've never seen Stover's lasagna at for a funeral. I don't know. Everybody's are different.
I'm talking just showing up to the house. You know, oh, you need a meal. You can't cook. Everybody's busy. It's lasagna after lasagna after lasagna. I haven't been to many funerals, knock on wood, you know, and a couple that I have been to have been like in church basements, and sometimes the church ladies put together stuff or whatever the case may be. But I mean,
isn't that special?
Yeah, but I'm not. I usually don't eat at those type of things anyway. Who wants to eat at a funeral?
Depends on how close the person was to you. Like, I didn't eat for like 3 days when my mom passed away. I lost like 20 pounds. I was like, yes, finally. And then I ate one meal and I was like, oh.
You gained it all right back.
It's like, dang it.
Well, you had that lasagna, Dusty.
Yeah.
I think about lasagna, Dust Man.
Yeah, I basically had lasagna. Illuminati's, man. Chicago-style pizza is basically lasagna. So, going to New Orleans. So, we do smash or pass this week.
Smash.
I think everything on here is something we will smash. Here's the bit to this week that plays into next week. Everything that we are about to list, we are going to intake when we are in New Orleans because you have to. So we start with gumbo.
Gumbo, absolutely smash gumbo, right? Yeah.
We had that question on our Instagram page on 96.5 The Fans IG, and they asked us gumbo or po' boys, which is the next one.
Right.
You're smashing both.
Yeah.
In fact, if you could do a soup salad or a soup sandwich, can you do like a half po' boy and a gumbo? Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
I told you yesterday, bring your stretchy pants on this trip, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of food when you think about it.
French Quarter.
There's nothing in New Orleans that I'm going, no, I'm not smashing, right? Like everything is unbelievable. And you eat down there and you feel like I didn't eat enough. I didn't eat at the right place because there's so much. It's like arguably the greatest food city. We're not going to Chipotle.
The boss told us to.
Yeah, good. It's arguably the greatest food city in the world. We're not going to Chipotle. I mean,
I'm also not going to go to Popeyes, but I do.
Right.
I do have a theory that Popeyes is better in Louisiana than it is in Kansas City.
I believe that.
And damn it, I love Popeyes.
I think it's pretty much the same. Just like McDonald's is pretty much the same everywhere. It's not better in Ireland because it's an Irish restaurant.
Like Famous Dave's isn't better here just because we have great barbecue.
His Richard of the Week also is going to be the guy from UConn. No, he said that for a reason. We talked about that yesterday.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, you wouldn't come to Kansas City and go to like a franchise of restaurants.
You would not. No, you would not. You'd go
guys
to
are trying
the
to thank you for
local
listening to me.
barbecue.
I did not do it because I knew what you were doing.
Yes.
I knew what you were doing.
It's a callback.
Bob almost did it.
You go to the local places when you
for sure.
travel.
You would go where you can't get it anywhere else.
Right.
Which is what we're gonna do.
Right.
Beignets.
Beignets are, fried dough with powdered sugar on top that are hot out of a paper sack that leaves the grease stains on the bag. Yes.
I'm gonna eat so many of those. I'm gonna look like Jim Carrey and me, myself, and Irene when he doesn't take a drink of water after he takes his pills. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had a beignet.
It's literally fried dough. It's great.
Is there anything in the middle?
No.
It's just puff pastry, basically, with no paste, with no puff, or plenty of puff.
Oh,
no.
there's just I mean, it is fried dough with powdered sugar. How could it get any worse than that? You know,
it's like a donut.
From the 816, I don't know, guys. The best Applebee's I've ever been to was in New Orleans. Well, we know where we have to go.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, you would think the best Applebee's would be here because it was originally from here. So,
or in somebody's neighborhood. Oysters, you get down with them?
I love oysters.
You do?
Yeah,
I figured you wouldn't like oysters.
No, I love oysters. I think we had 24 the other night. I mean, I absolutely love it. Earl's Premier, by the way, if you haven't been, go. Fantastic place.
I do love oysters, but I have like a system. Squeeze the lemon on top. Dip my fork in the cocktail sauce and the cocktail sauce, and then the horseradish, and then click it out and then eat it.
Yeah, I got a system too. I pick up the shell and I go, and I suck it right out, and that's it.
You don't put anything on it. You just raw dog
I mean,
it?
sometimes you do, but I love if the oysters are good. Just like anything, you don't need sauce. People will tell you that about your barbecue, right? If it's good, you don't need the sauce.
Anthony Bourdain said you shouldn't eat oysters. They're the mucus of the sea.
Well, I mean, they kind of are. I mean, you look at them,
He says you also never eat fish on Mondays in restaurants.
Well, you worked in one. Is that true?
I don't know. I eat salmon a lot on Mondays.
Yeah.
I just love Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, me too.
He's wonderful.
I've got
Wonderful.
2 of his books. And I love Parts Unknown. R.I.P. to one of the best.
Yeah, one of my friends was on his show, our friend Luis Garcia from Miami, who owns like the best seafood restaurant you ever did eat at in Miami. It's called Garcia Seafood, right? Salvy's a big fan, and he's in there a lot. And years ago, Anthony Bourdain went to his place. And I mean, you want to talk about like Food Network guy type dude showing up. Like if Anthony Bourdain is coming to your place, you know it is legit.
Seriously.
I think he said Joe's was one of the 13 places you must eat before you die.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He went
awesome.
there. He's like,
That's
it's at a
cool.
gas station. Well, that's like his forte. Like he's big. Have you ever seen his clip on Waffle House?
Hole in the wall.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
He's like, go into the restaurant, ask what the soup of the day is, order a beer, whatever. And then the very end is like my Twitter handle quote. It just says, enjoy the ride. Oysters Rockefeller, some people think that it's like not the same. Like it's like, oh, you're eating that, you're cheating the system.
No, Oysters Rockefeller in New Orleans, they're called like grilled oysters, I think, or unbelievable. There's a place in the Hilton Hotel that is famous, and I was talking with Jasper because he's trying to set up a lot of like foodie things for us down there because he knows everybody. And we couldn't remember the name of the oyster place in the Hilton Hotel that is known for the grilled oysters, but they are unbelievable. They got the cheese and the spinach on top. Oh, they're phenomenal stuff.
Okay. Somebody says, be careful at night, Dusty. Them cockroaches be roaming. Great. And then jambalaya.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the significant difference between jambalaya and gumbo?
I think
gumbo's more broth and jambalaya is just rice and meat.
Yeah, rice and all that.
I just had jambalaya.
Yeah.
So gumbo's more soupy?
I think gumbo's more soup.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That might be an elite sandwich soup combo. Because one of my favorites is like the Panera broccoli cheddar and I think it's like their prime rib sandwich or whatever it is. Just has basically like pickled red onions, horseradish sauce, and meat and white cheddar. And you get that with a cup of broccoli cheddar. You're not doing much the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And your sodium intake is massive.
Is this to quote, eat at a local restaurant tonight, get the cream sauce.
Yep.
Have a cold pint at 4 o'clock and mostly empty bar. Go somewhere you've never been. Listen to someone you think may have nothing in common with you. Order the steak rare. Eat an oyster. Have a Negroni. Have 2. Be open to a world where you may not understand or agree with the person next to you, but have a drink with them anyways. Eat slowly. Tip your server. Check in on your friends. Check in on yourself. Enjoy the ride.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Your skin tells a story. At KMC Dermatology and Med Spa, we understand that stress, time, and life can leave their mark, but it's never too late to refresh, renew, and restore your skin. With 25 expert providers across multiple locations, we make glowing skin easy. Same week appointments? Absolutely. Select Saturday appointments available? You got it. From medical dermatology to advanced aesthetic treatments, we're here to help you look and feel your best. Schedule your appointment today at kmcpa.com. KMC Dermatology and Med Spa. Beyond the surface.
At David's Bridal, love is in every stitch. From the initial sketch to the final details, each style is designed with exquisite craftsmanship. Every wedding gown, bridesmaid look, prom dress, and special occasion style in between features handcrafted details filled with love. Come see the magic in person. Book an appointment and sign up for Diamond Loyalty to save 15% on your first purchase. Earn points towards special rewards and more at davidsbridal.com.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet Viant AI, the world's first fully autonomous advertising platform. With Viant AI, you can automate media planning, analyze results, and drive smarter decisions, all while saving you time and resources. Viant AI helps you unlock new potential and boost productivity regardless of your expertise. Visit Viant.ai today and see how the future of artificial intelligence in advertising can work for you.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford, online at kcmetroford.com. Missouri side 70 westbound accident under the Blue Ridge Boulevard overpass. Left lane is blocked. Delays heavy from 470. Past that, things get slow again as you make your way from 23rd Street in towards the Benton Boulevard entrance ramp. The accident there on the ramp also blocking the right main lane. That is now building delays beyond 23rd Street. Right now at Metro Ford, you won't find a better selection of F-150s in the city, plus $8,000 off 2024 Explorers and Escapes, all ready to drive off the lot today with a lifetime powertrain warranty. But these deals won't last. Visit kcmetroford.com or stop by Metro Ford on Noland Road in Independence. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Fescoe and Dusty live from New Orleans all next week for Super Bowl 59. Right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM. HD1 and HD2. Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Back at it here on Fescoe and Dusty, 8 o'clock. Nate Taylor will join us in about 25 minutes. We'll ask him his opinion on New Orleans food. I do think Creole food is the most underrated food there is. Southern Comfort's up there, Italian, Mexican, Asian food, all that sort of stuff. Not a lot of people throw in the old Creole.
I mean, when you get down there and start eating, you'll come back and go buy all the stuff and want to make it at home. That's how good
I'll
the
tell you
stuff
this,
is.
I will not eat crawfish.
Oh, yeah, you will.
No, I won't.
Why? You eat oysters.
You didn't eat... No, I will eat oysters. There's something about sucking the brain out. I'm not doing it.
All right.
Don't
All
you
right.
dare drop that. And it's a mud bug.
It is.
Like, I went to Arkansas and they did a crawfish boil. And I was like, I like the corn and potatoes and sausage.
Like the
and I was
crawfish,
fine.
if they're out of the shell, I think. I'd never sucked a crawfish or anything
That's
like
how you're
that.
supposed to do it. You're
Yeah,
supposed to suck the head, they say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm out on that.
Exactly.
But
you'll
like,
see it. People just don't.
But if there's crawfish meat, like lobster, crab, that kind of stuff, if it's in the crawfish gumbo or something, big chunks of crawfish, that's fine. But I'm not, doing all that kind of crap.
Somebody says, being from Louisiana and hearing the question of what's the difference between gumbo and jambalaya almost made me stroke out. What's the difference between a ribeye and a strip? Oh, my God. Damn it.
The odds are out for the celebrity that's going to appear the most on TV in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the highest odds, the best
Bradley
odds?
Cooper.
You're absolutely right about that.
Wow. Sober Bradley Cooper, by the way.
Yep, because they excluded Taylor Swift in this.
She's now in the Mahomes category of start one quarterback
That's
listed
exactly
below.
right.
Yeah.
That's where we are, right?
That's
all
fine.
right. Everything in the NFL has to be, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, right?
Have you ever seen Silver Linings Playbook? Great movie.
Yes, with
Bradley Cooper and our girl, Jennifer Lawrence.
It's a great one.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Number 2.
On my list? No, it's Paige Sporanic.
Nope. Paul Rudd.
Oh, I thought we were talking about our Paul Rudd, really?
Mm-hmm. I could see that, yeah.
Kevin Hart comes in at number 3.
Big Philly fan.
Okay,
Rob
yeah.
McElhenney comes in at number 4. Sudeikis 5. Sylvester Stallone comes in.
He'll be there for sure. Rocky,
I would
obviously.
hope. And by the way, and I'm just going to send out a word of advice here.
Don't attack the statue.
Exactly. Like, did you see what Washington
Yes.
did? Like,
Everybody
people who
tries
attack
that.
the Rocky statue are stupid. Like, don't go out there and try to put Chiefs gear on the Rocky statue in Philadelphia or anything like that. Let that be. Let that lie. Then Tina Fey, Sheryl Crow, Miranda Lambert, Ryan Felipe, Tara Reid, and
Tara Reid.
I hope she's there. Oh, she was my love for years, and then weird things happened. But then Bernard Hopkins on that list.
Stone Street. He'll be there.
Not even on the list.
So he's like plus 2,000. He's like Andy Reid getting Coach of the Year. Yeah. So somebody says, is it based off screen time? If so, Kendrick Lamar will take the cake. No, just like
No, this
most
one
times
is based
shown.
on to have the. Well, it is. Yeah, it says the odds for the celebrity to have the most screen time during the game. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
they won't
halftime
count
show.
the
They can't
halftime
count
show.
that. It's
No,
just
they're
like
not counting
in
halftime.
the crowd.
Not counting halftime and not counting Taylor Swift.
Yeah, for
but
whatever
but
reason.
that's what it says. It says without Taylor Swift and excluding the halftime show.
Somebody says the Eagles fans are the ones planting the jerseys and pretending it's the other team to get that game motivation. A lot of people are saying that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I saw a clip yesterday that said this is why people will root for the Chiefs over Philadelphia, because there were Washington Commander fans leaving Philadelphia Stadium just getting absolutely just bombarded with rude-ass people.
Can we talk about the Philly fans for a second?
Yeah, they suck.
They really do suck, man. And I was listening to some of the stuff yesterday. Like, there were 33 drunken disorderly citations, a stabbing, gunshots, people falling off poles, a death in Philly. Like,
yeah, that guy recently just passed away.
Yeah, the cuteness of the Philadelphia fan and the embracement of being jerks, it's not funny anymore, man. Like that video that you showed, like, I want to take my kid to a game or something. Like, I can't go to a game in Philadelphia if I'm, rooting for the other team. Like, that's not the way it should be. And I know, look, I know that things happen at all these stadiums, but this happens in Philadelphia more so than not. I mean, when the city of New Orleans has to say, our light poles are old, please don't climb them, and all this kind of stuff, like, I'm just over the Philadelphia fan, quite honestly. Like, grow up. Stop acting that way. It's not funny.
Was it the Philly fan that called the lady the C word and got kicked out for life?
Yes. Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
He was now, obviously, he was baited, but he still said that word to that woman.
Right.
So
you still acted that way.
If someone baited you, you wouldn't do that.
You just walk away. And look, I understand, booze gets involved. There's all the excuses you can make in the world, but I'm over it. It's time for Philadelphia fans to stop acting the fool, guys. I mean, like, really, it's really, it hurts the NFL. It hurts the people who aren't acting the fool, because the narrative for 45, 50 years now has been the behavior of the fans, from the booing of Santa Claus to booing Michael Irvin when he was down out cold on the field, and they're cheering or booing, however you want to say it, and then this last incident. But every time there's something in Philadelphia, the fans act the fool. Like, I know we've had our share of things here in Kansas City that have happened, but nothing like what these fans do and how these fans behave. And I'm just over it. Like, I've gotten to that point where I'm just disgusted by it. It's gross. I mean, you listen to people talk about, like, Tiki Barber was talking about going to Philadelphia as a Giant fan. And like, he goes, I won't do that. That man played in the NFL, and he won't go into that stadium. Like, it's really just to the point now where it's not funny, it's not cute, it's not unique, it's not awesome, it's not. It really is. It's stupid, and it's foolish, and it gives everybody else a bad name. So, Philadelphia fans, knock it off, man. Act human.
Somebody says if you need any sort of advice for where to get food, just ask Zion Williamson.
You get the day, man. That's great.
Seriously.
You take the week off.
Do you think you could ever like Nick Sirianni?
I do. The more I hear from him now, the more I understand why it works in Philadelphia. I do.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Again, I didn't ever coach for Andy, so maybe I hear, I've gotten a text message from here and there after a win. I've given him a text message here and there after a win, but I didn't coach for him. He didn't. We don't have that history. I know he was here, and so you don't tend to share information or anything like that with guys that you don't know as well. So I have my my other mentors that I reach out to, and but man, looking at watching Coach Reed, and I got a lot of respect for everything that he's done. Obviously, he's one of the best. I would say him and Bill Belichick, best coaches of all time ever. As I look at it, as I study it, so a lot of respect there. I'd love to be able to talk to him about stuff, but this is the second time we're competing for a world championship. I don't know if either of us are willing to give any information.
Yeah, that's cute, but I'm going to call cap on him trying to come around as this nice guy. I still remember what he did to the crowd.
Yeah, but
I still see how he acts on the sidelines. They don't even let him talk to his players.
Yeah, but I understand why it works, though. I mean, he understands what he doesn't know, and
he's got a really good roster.
I think and he stays away from it. I think I think for a lot of people in life, they try to do things they're not capable of doing, and they get in the way, and it becomes a mess, and they think they're the smartest guy in the room. I think Nick Sirianni has realized where he is, where his ceiling is, and he's hired a great defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. And I think that, as more people talk about the Vic Fangio effect, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is undefeated against Vic Fangio. But I think as we talk about that, like, that was an interesting hire, because a guy like Nick Sirianni, who's always fighting for his job, doesn't normally go out and hire somebody that could legitimately take his job, that has more street cred and a better resume than him in the NFL. And that was Vic Fangio. And he went out and hired Vic Fangio, and basically took down the Todd Haley, because that was one of his mentors, smartest guy in the room mentality, and went out and hired somebody that truly is maybe better at coaching and doing things than he is, and he surrounded himself with good people. And I think that's a big growth move for Nick Sirianni, and I do think he probably understands now, hey, man, I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to give everybody else credit. I'm just going to get out of the way in all of this, because I don't know how much he adds to it, but I do know that he's hired the right people around him, like the Kellen Moore hire, obviously a head coach in waiting, could have been the head coach in waiting in Philadelphia. I'm sure they discussed that 1,000 times. And then Vic Fangio, who's been a head coach and been around the league, he surrounded himself with some pretty good offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yeah, somebody says that Sirianni reminds them of Todd Haley.
Well, he was Todd Haley's guy here in Kansas. He used to carry Todd Haley's bag.
And he's still a bag. I don't know. I think his antics and who he is, he'd have to completely change. Completely show multiple signs of the fact that, which maybe he's the perfect Philly coach, right? Controversial, kind of a loudmouth. I don't really know what his job is still, management of roster, doesn't really call plays, doesn't really do situational stuff. So it's cute that he said he's going to gimmick or change some things in his playbook that he did 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. But again, these are two different teams, which is obvious. Saquon Barkley is going to be the running back. He wasn't the running back 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. And he's relying on Saquon Barkley, too. He's not trying to force Jalen Hurts to go win you games, which I think is, in the NFL today, we all want our quarterbacks to go out there and win us games. Well, you have a decent enough quarterback in Jalen Hurts, but my God, you got Saquon Barkley, who's having one of the great years we've seen in the NFL by a running back. Rely on Saquon Barkley. And they're doing that. And I think, when you look at leaders, and whatnot over the course of time, not just in football, but in life in general, one of their greatest assets is empowering others. And I really do think Nick Sirianni and I don't want to compare him to Dick Vermeil, because Vermeil didn't call plays, but surrounded himself with good coaches and let Al Saunders call the offense, and whoever else, Gunther Cunningham at one point called the defense here in Kansas City. You surround yourself with good coaches, you allow them to do their jobs, you give them all the credit in the world when things go right, and you take all the blame when things go wrong. I mean, Andy Reid does a lot of that. Obviously, Andy calls all the plays on offense. We know all that. But I think Nick Sirianni has kind of figured out how to be a leader, and it's sometimes it's just say less, stay out of the way, and let your people do their job and say, I'll be here to support you when you need me. Come ask me if I can do anything, but I got full trust in you. A lot of young coaches aren't able to do that. That's why they fail. I think Nick Sirianni has kind of moved forward in that just based on who he has surrounding him and lets them do their job. I didn't think Nick Sirianni was going to be anything when he got hired in Philadelphia, and he's taken his team to the Super Bowl 2 times. I mean, you're not doing something wrong if you're doing something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of his, and I hope they beat him just because of that. Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Community America Credit Union, member-owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com. Let's get honest on the other side about something that we were wrong about. Got to do it. Self-deprecating can be healthy. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Fescoe, Mac, and Dusty.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Now get a small hot coffee for 99 cents. See Casey's for details.
Planning to propose this Valentine's Day? Shane Company has your back. Our easy process to create your dream engagement ring is rock solid. 1, pick your ring setting. 2, choose your center stone. 3, personalize it. With our wide selection of beautiful settings and hand-picked diamonds and gemstones, all at competitive prices, your ring will be as unique as your love story. We'll handset your ring in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store and protect it with our free lifetime warranty. Walk in with a dream, walk out with the ring that will take their breath away. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
A gain scent bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Make Gates Barbecue your go-to for the Big Game Watch Party. Whether you're the host or a guest, the Big Game Watch Party won't be complete without Gates Barbecue sauce and seasonings. Gates seasonings go great on popcorn as a fun topping for dips or sprinkle on chips for that extra flavor pop. Nothing says the big game like a Gates party tray. Stop by any of their 5 locations and pick one up. You'll be the hit of the party. Spice up your Big Game Watch Party with Gates Barbecue. We still do it the old-fashioned way.
Sailor Jerry's Rum is proud to present FAC 28. See at least a dozen MMA fights streamed live worldwide from the Cable Dahmer Arena Saturday, February 8th. In the main event, KC's own Muhammad Zwolak will take on Oklahoma champ Nick Fields. Get tickets now for FAC 28 through Ticketmaster or the Cable Dahmer Arena box office. Sponsored by Dream Machine Motorsports, Hoy Excavating, Apple Roofing, and Tintmaster.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 70 westbound with an accident under the Blue Ridge overpass. Left lane blocked. Delays solid from 470. Past that, things are sluggish from 27th Street in towards Prospect with an earlier accident at the Benton Boulevard entrance that's now off to the shoulder. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
When sports takes go wrong is what we're about to dive into. Somebody from the 620 just catching the Reply All segment while receiving one from our Reply All guy here at work. Dustin in Derby, Kansas. Oh, man. See, we're not the only ones.
No, everybody has, but nobody likes that.
It's coming, though. We're getting ready to have another one because we just got Sweetheart Joe, our lady downstairs, said, happy anniversary to the following. Reply All. Congrats.
You think it's going to still happen, though?
Did you not see the proof in all your 5,465 emails?
I'm down to 3,163.
Yeah, well, you got about 5 hours to go. You should be doing that on your flight. You'll land in no time.
If you missed that segment, we got a podcast. Also go to our Twitter page. You can watch the clip. It's pretty funny.
The big boss is going to be outside the door when we get out of here.
Good.
Oh, boy. When hot takes go wrong, Nate Taylor in about 6 minutes here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Good to have you here on a, gloomy but warm Thursday morning.
You think all the snow will be gone before we leave on Sunday?
Yes, because we're supposed to get a lot of rain tonight and tomorrow, so I think it's going to be,
even those big mounds and like parking lots and things like that are like as high as the eye can see,
Maybe.
I got money on it lasting until Valentine's Day, so.
Well, you got money on Andy Reid being coach of the year, and that ain't happening.
You know what, though? He's a finalist.
That's cool.
That's in and of itself is fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
Award's going to the guy in Minnesota.
How could it? I know it's a regular season award.
Minnesota, not
I
Detroit?
get all that.
Okay.
It'll be Kevin O'Connell.
I understand. And
what are the odds right now? Do you know those?
I don't know, but I remember you saying who it was going to go
to the winner of that game.
Right. And it was Detroit.
What if Andy Reid does get this thing, though, man? Like that would be just the fitting thing to do for people to say, you know what, 15-1, man.
They announced it before the Super Bowl.
They announced it, I think, Thursday or Friday before the Super Bowl, right?
Dinner's on you if they win.
I mean, let's go, man. Let's go.
So I guess a take that I got wrong throughout this Chiefs season, that's what we're going to do here before Nate Taylor joins us here. I said when we do our Chiefs take, we do it every week on Instagram. Kramer's a sweetheart for helping us out with that. I said that I think that Travis Kelce is officially passing the torch to Noah Gray. I said that after the Buffalo game in Week 11 when he had 2 touchdowns, Noah Gray did. Since Week 13, Noah Gray's had 12 catches for 135 yards and a touchdown. And 3 of those 12 catches came against Houston. He did not have 1 against Buffalo.
No.
I think I was really wrong about that. I think that Travis Kelce has yet to patch that torch, which makes me somehow believe, I don't know how I'm doing this to myself, that even if they do win a Super Bowl, that he will come back for one more year.
Yeah, that was the conversation yesterday at the J with a bunch of the guys. And it's like everybody's asking, the same questions, and because everybody wants to know the answers. Like, is Travis going to come back? And I said, boy, some people are so defiant they think they know all the time. No, we don't know. None of us know what Travis Kelce is thinking, right? And I said to somebody yesterday, I said, he's still 200 yards roughly, 204 yards behind Jerry Rice. And 2 touchdowns behind, is it 2 touchdowns? 1 touchdown behind Jerry Rice now for the all-time lead in postseason history in receiving. And I'm like, I look at it like, I guess I look at things weird. I would regret it for the rest of my life if I was Travis Kelce and finished 50 yards short of Jerry Rice for the all-time lead. I think that's something, in my opinion anyway, that may drive him to come back one more year. Like if he doesn't get 210 yards in the Super Bowl and a touchdown, then he comes back next year and tries to beat Jerry Rice's record again, in the postseason. So, and I told this person I was talking to yesterday, I'm like, ask me in 5 minutes. I'll probably have a different answer for you when it comes to Travis Kelce, because I don't think any of us truly know what he's going to do. And then the other side is, boy, if you win 3 in a row, you're with Taylor Swift. You got all the life after football. You don't have to get beat up anymore. I'm sure your brother has told you many times over the course of the year how great he feels, not going out there and playing every single day. There's that side of it as well. And so, I would say if you came to me or somebody came to me and laid the case out that Travis was retiring or Travis was staying, I would believe both of those 100% because I just don't think anybody other than him maybe, and maybe he doesn't even know, what he's going to do and what he's going to decide. He's got 1 more year on the contract. He may want to come back for 1 more year to let everybody know, hey, this is going to be it,
Like I always kind of play the Andy Reid situation with Travis Kelce more and more throughout the season. Like you heard the Taylor Swift quote, like she's like, he loves doing it. I enjoy watching him play. He's having fun doing it, so I support whatever he wants to do. That's just an awesome partner in life to have that sort of opinion. But also someone, I don't know if they're trolling me or not, or if they have the same opinion. I said it a couple weeks ago that if they were to win a Super Bowl, I think he'd propose to Taylor Swift on the field and then retire. If they don't
a lot of people believe that's going to happen.
Which that's not, I don't know if that was an original take, but I just had an idea because it's just the Hollywood ending. But again, you look at yourself and you think, well, they're probably going to be in the playoffs again next year because of who they have at quarterback. So why not ride it out? Why until I literally physically cannot do it? And he has told us before multiple times, I'm out here until the wheels fall off, baby.
Right.
So, it's, it's his decision whether he makes it or not. Like you said, 1 more year in the contract. So maybe he's, a trooper. He's like, you know what? I'm here until my contract, and that's when we'll do it. If the contract says it's over, then I'll tell you it's over. I also don't know if he's a swan song type of guy where he's like, this is it. This is going to be my last year, because I think that will make a distraction throughout the year. Like, hey, this is your last time in.
That's true. There is
Stadium.
that. Yeah. And this team is all about eliminating the distractions, right? They're all about getting rid of all of
they
that
don't like
nonsense.
that.
They don't want that. That's why Tyreek Hill isn't here anymore. And that's why, Marcus Peters isn't here anymore. And, you can see guys that, are all about me and not about us. They don't belong and fit here in this Kansas City Chiefs operation right now, because it's all about us, not about me. But the Travis is obviously in a different category. If he wanted to do a swan song, I think everybody would be happy to allow that to happen. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people with the Hollywood ending, they win and he proposes to Taylor Swift on the field. I mean, oh my God.
Mac, you have a hot take that you missed out on this year?
Mine was, I didn't think we needed Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
Mine was, I thought Kingsley would be useful or good,
Suamataia?
Yep, I thought Suamataia actually showed athleticism, and not good. Not great.
Before we get to Nate Taylor, every single day next week at 7:45, we're doing the High V giveaway, right? We're going to play a highlight, and you have to guess the year when that highlight happens. If you're the correct caller, you will qualify to win a $500 High V gift card at the end of next week. So there'll be 5 qualifiers, one each day at 7:45. So be listening next week, all day, obviously, but at 7:45 if you want a chance to win that $500 High V gift card.
He's the only man in history to win a race in a hot dog costume and break the news that Chris Jones is back with the Chiefs.
I'll get on that, Coach.
Yeah, all right.
Here's Nate Taylor from The Athletic.
It always makes you want to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I don't know why. Maybe I do know why. I'll tell you a little bit later. But we are here with Nate Taylor now, presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Nate Taylor, how you feeling, buddy? Matt gave us some upsetting news. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's not great when you go through, some level of sickness, but I'm here, man. I'm doing all right.
Okay. Good thing you got it this week and not next week.
Do you know what it was that gave you the FP?
No.
Because usually you know immediately what it is. You're like, I will never eat that again.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it involves cheese.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Because I got it from pizza years ago. It was awful, man. It was awful.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? So, just stay hydrated and we move forward, but no, I still plan on eating everything under the sun in New Orleans next week.
Yeah, you'll be fine later on.
Yeah,
today.
right now you're just eating chicken noodle soup, saltine crackers, Sprite, and Gatorade.
I did have soup.
Told you. Yeah, it's recipe for life. Our mothers did as well. But let's talk about New Orleans, Nate. Philadelphia, Kansas City, the rematch. What say you about this time around as opposed to last time around?
Well, the biggest difference is Saquon Barkley. It's been a joy just to watch him this season on like a competent football team who has a good offensive line, an actual quarterback who's a threat. And I think the other thing too that you have to remember that's different is now because we're going to hear again about a really good defense and their defensive line and their pass rush. It still boggles my mind that the Chiefs have reached the Super Bowl with Joe Thuney at left tackle. So there'll be a lot of matchups we could talk about, but those are the two biggest differences. Is that I never, no one could have ever thought. I know listening to you guys earlier, no one could have thought that Joe Thuney at left tackle was going to be the pendulum swing between going back to the Super Bowl or not. But yeah, everything else is somewhat similar to 2 years ago, but it's actually good that both of these teams have that experience because it should better inform them on how to perform, 2 Sundays from now.
Yeah, and I think the Joe Thuney thing is probably, it gets talked about, but my goodness, I mean, I don't know that we've seen a player switch positions and everything seamlessly. Like if you were watching the Chiefs for the first time, you never would have known that Joe Thuney was a guard 5 days ago,
Right. Exactly. And the thing that you just have to remember is, like, I've tried to talk to a number of people and just ask them, like, hey, like, is there something similar? Do we have, like, a case study of this? And the answer in the modern era is kind of no. You don't really put guards at tackle. or it is something where like you understand immediately how disastrous it is just because this person is playing out of position. The greatest example is the Super Bowl in 2020 when the Chiefs, had to reconfigure their entire offensive line because they just had injuries after injuries after injuries. So this is not the same thing. But look, man, they put Mike Rimmers out at left tackle, and he's a right tackle, and it didn't go well, right? Like he still played the tackle position. It just didn't go well because he didn't get a stretch in December to get smoothed into this. But I mean, he had the highest grade like on PFF, which again is just like mind-boggling. That Joe Thuney out of position was still one of the better pass protectors in all of football last week.
In this game 2 years ago, Nick Bolton was a key factor. You got to think somewhat of that is going to be the same in this game because of what is Saquon Barkley and what is Dallas Goedert, two big targets in the middle of that field. Nick Bolton, contract year, big time to shine. It should be a good game, should be a big impact from him as well, I would think. What would you think about that?
Yeah, there's going to be moments where Nick Bolton gives up plays, and that's just about everybody who plays in the middle of the field in the NFL. For people who are wondering, like if you can attack the middle of the field consistently, that helps your offense easy because it's easier for the quarterback to sort of, see what's going on in the field and obviously get the ball instead of having to throw it towards the boundary. The best part is that, Nick Bolton gave up, I think, a couple receptions in the first half against the Bills, and then really played very well from about the second half on. He's most known last week for the stop of Josh Allen, which, again, I don't know how he did it with Mike Pennell and Chris Jones on the defensive line, but he's the one that stonewalls Josh Allen on that 4th and inches play to, change the entire momentum of the game. And then there was one play, I think I'd have to remember, but there's one play where he actually plays pretty well in coverage. So, yes, you're going to need Nick Bolton. You're going to need Drew Tranquill. You're going to need your best tackling defenders. And that includes, Justin Reed. I know he didn't have his best effort on the 4th and goal play where James Cook did, honestly, some wizard-type athleticism to get in the end zone. But you're going to need Bolton, Drew Tranquill, Justin Reed, in my opinion, to make Saquon earn every bit of yards to where he can't have a breakaway run. That has been really the key difference for Philly's offense is they're pretty good. It's just, hey, man, when that guy gets out there, he's a home run hitter. And the Chiefs really haven't played anybody quite like that. I know for all of his success last year, Christian McCaffrey was excellent. But he didn't necessarily have the home run breakaway speed that Saquon has demonstrated this season. That's probably the difference between him and Derrick Henry, him and, McCaffrey, him and whoever they've seen so far throughout their title run, throughout their dynasty. So you better tackle him because once he gets past the second level, he's usually running away from the safeties and the cornerbacks.
You mentioned in the defense, and that brings up Charles Omenihu and the difference that he's made for this team, both as a player and as a guy who's made George Karlaftis better. How does he impact this one?
Yeah, he's actually gotten a lot better in run defense, which is kind of stunning. He's really not on the team to be, being someone who sets the edge and really plays sound defense, but he's done that. He did that last week against the Buffalo Bills. Now he'll get a chance to actually play in the Super Bowl, following, his ACL injury that he had just a little bit over a year ago. He's getting enough pressure to where now someone's getting home. And again, it's hard to bring down Josh Allen, but Mike Dana has a strip sack. George Karlaftis has had an amazing playoff run. He's the one who generates, obviously, the pressure on that 4th and 5 with Trent McDuffie. I just get the sense that the Chiefs defense has really been at its absolute best form once George Karlaftis got to a place where you could get more one-on-ones because you have Charles Omenihu. And so if you're going to stop Saquon Barkley, if you're going to try to contain, Jalen Hurts the same way you tried to do Josh Allen, you need as many quality pass rushers. And even though the Chiefs are now back-to-back champions, they've never had this good of pass rushing defensive lineman in the entire run. I know that sounds strange for maybe some people, but when Mike Dana is just having strip sacks because he's your fourth best defensive lineman, they didn't have that 2 years ago, and they didn't have that last year. And so Charles being healthy for this game gives the Chiefs the best chance to try to, disrupt and mitigate some of the rushing attack that the Eagles will present in New Orleans.
Nate, I don't know if we're talking to Nate Taylor, the Athletic, here on Fescoe and Dusty. Do you think we'll have a discussion in the next coming days about left tackle again, or can we nip that in the bud and it's Tooney? We don't need to have DJ Humphrey's name involved anymore.
It's a great question, Dusty, because I think you could really have that conversation if you wanted. Now, it'd be wild for you to make the change on Super Bowl Sunday, but hey, DJ Humphrey will get 2 weeks. He will get more time practicing, of course. He is technically a better left tackle on the average day than Joe Tooney. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a bold gamble for them to stick with Joe Tooney. As I've said before, and I've said to you guys, I think this is somewhat an evolution of Andy Reid, who is more, hey, old school, loyal to the veteran guys. Hey, we brought him in for a reason. I think the rest of the staff and maybe even Patrick Mahomes got to him and just said, let's just stick with what's worked, even though that's not the original plan. So I don't think it's going to change, but it is at least a discussion to have next week where you're like, hey, he's further away from the hamstring injury at any point during this entire time DJ Humphrey's been with the team, but also, man, Patrick's playing so well right now, and that's because he's not getting immediate pressure from the blind side, which is what we saw obviously earlier this year. And as I said this before, it doesn't prevent you from re-signing DJ Humphries for next season in the event that you probably still need a gapped starting player, veteran player, especially if you want to see Kingsley Suamataia at guard, or if you want to not feel like you're pressured to drafting another left tackle in the draft in April. So it's not like this is the last game that DJ Humphrey could ever be in the Chiefs uniform. But I'm glad you brought it up because it's like, Coach, is he fully healthy? But also, man, it's hard to ask somebody to do this when the last significant game they played with Patrick Mahomes was early December. It's mid-February. But I don't think they're going to change it, but they should have some conversation if DJ shows more and more, just overall improvement, better understanding of the playbook, timing, all that stuff in practice, because that's the benefit of the Super Bowl. You get 2 weeks to sort of reinvent your team for that last final game.
Or you just don't, reinvent what's working at this point in time, which is also Kareem Hunt, and that was my worst Chiefs take of the year. I don't think we really need Kareem Hunt. What a difference maker he's been, and, man, I've loved watching him run in the playoffs.
He's been honestly the darling of the season, guys. I couldn't have anticipated that it was going to go this well. The Chiefs could not have anticipated it going this well. But when you see a player who knows I got one more good run in me, and I'm trying to redeem myself, and I'm trying to do good on a second chance, you get this level of performance that is truly awe-striking. The Chiefs realized that Kareem was healthy enough, motivated enough, and had grown enough for this particular opportunity. And then he just became the best running back of the season with no training camp, no preseason. As Andy has talked before, they literally signed him off the couch, guys. He was working out at, the high school he used to, obviously he was a star in the Cleveland area. And now he's made good from a football standpoint as much as he possibly can. He runs so hard, so determined, because he's squeezing every last bit of greatness he has in him. And it just so happens that he gets to do it with Patrick Mahomes, who he came into the NFL with. It's with Andy Reid, the coach who's known for redemptions, who's known for second, hell, maybe even third chances. And, because of the injury, Pacheco has not truly found his rhythm yet. I think Pacheco played pretty well last week against the Buffalo Bills in limited opportunities. But as of right now, Kareem Hunt's the better running back. And so he gets a chance to play in the Super Bowl when that was, I assure you, he just thought that was going to be a given in 2018. Man, I'm on one of the greatest offenses ever. This Patrick Mahomes dude is incredible. I led the league in rushing as a rookie. Like, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. And then, of course, we all know what happens. And it's been a long trial. It's been a long journey for him. But I have not seen someone recently be this good when the majority of the league was like, maybe he has another year in him, maybe two, but like, it's not going to be like high level. It's not going to be like super duper productive. He'll just be another guy. He's been more than another guy. He's been honestly a massive influence and an inspiration to a lot of those guys in the locker room, because even he acknowledges all the mistakes he made before he got a chance to really redeem himself and make himself whole again as a football player, let alone as a human being. It's been one of the bigger stories of the season that no one saw coming.
Last one real quick, Nate. What's one thing I have to get in New Orleans food-wise?
Gator.
Okay.
Gator. Just get more gator. Everybody knows about shrimp po' boys. Everybody knows about beignets. It's excellent. I love red snapper. It's incredible. Gumbo, of course. Get you some alligator.
I'm going to come back looking like Carson Steele.
Alligator is really good. It does, I hate to say this, Nate, but it does kind of taste like chicken. It's, you eat it, you're like, all right, I can definitely see that,
Yeah. Now, you get a little weird once you get to rabbit.
Okay.
I don't mind rabbit. I had rabbit one time.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. I don't think I'll ever need rabbit again. But gator, love gator.
Yeah, gator is great. Gator soup is really good too. I wish we had more time. I'd take you guys on take you to Houma, Louisiana, introduce you to a guy named Ron Guidry, not the pitcher, but guy gives gator tours in the bayou of Houma, Louisiana.
Oh,
maybe we just skip out on the show one day and go take a boat ride and see the gators.
Yes. Oh,
probably do the
sounds
show.
incredible.
All right, Nate. We'll take care. Get to feeling better. We'll see you in New Orleans.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Nate Taylor there joining us on Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you and presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Three-peats, they're fun, but we can do other three-peats that have happened in the history of entertainment like sports is here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Super Bowl 59, one game, two teams, endless possibilities. And there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether you're predicting the first touchdown, who'll take home the MVP trophy, or the coin toss, FanDuel makes it easy to place your bets and feel the thrill of every moment. With live betting all game long, you can jump into the action, adjust your bets, and ride the wave of excitement from kickoff to the final whistle. Plus, to make the Super Bowl even sweeter, new customers can score $200 when you make your first bet. Just place a $5 bet, and if you win, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com/Alex and bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59 and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's Web Now 1.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It starts as a nuisance and you just put up with it, but then that awful joint pain impacts everything in your life. Walking, climbing stairs, even getting in and out of the car hurts. Hey, it's Bob Fescoe. I'm talking about that always there joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. But here's the good news. QC Kinetics. Groundbreaking treatments for arthritis pain. Long-term relief is now possible with no downtime. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients would tell you, don't wait, make the call today. These new orthobiologic cellular therapies, including PRP treatments, can revitalize your joints without going under the knife. Look, joint pain doesn't get better with time. So before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for these life-changing regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. Things are recovering on the Missouri side. 70 westbound, lingering slowdowns coming out from 470 over past Lee Summit Road. But once you get out beyond 40 Highway, things are back to posted speeds. Earlier accident at the Blue Ridge Boulevard overpass has cleared. Attention drivers, the time to buy is now at Metro Ford. Like a low-mileage 2021 four-wheel drive Ford Explorer XLT with captain's chairs and remote start for just $31,700. Every eligible pre-owned vehicle comes with a 5-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Visit Metro Ford on Noland Road in Independence or shop online at kcmetroford.com. Metro Ford, driven to exceed your expectations. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
From the text line, how do we not know that chicken doesn't taste like everything else? Why doesn't why doesn't chicken taste like gator? Why doesn't chicken taste
because
like...
there's so many other different things that go back to the chicken.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like, steak or, everything was related back to the chicken. If everything tasted like an alligator, we relate it all back to the gator. But I also think chicken is probably something... Do you know anybody who's never had chicken? I mean, I know there's some vegans walking around and whatnot, but I'm sure at one point in your life you had some chicken before you decided you weren't going to wear leather shoes. So
where's all the chicken?
Yeah.
That little kid.
Yeah, it's chicken, of course. Like the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Yeah. It's chicken. Yeah, it's good. It's chicken. Yeah. Like, do you know anybody that's never had chicken? And if you have never had chicken, let me know. I got to know if you've never had chicken. So I think it's something that everybody can relate to as well. You don't sit there and say it tastes like a rack of lamb with mint jelly. People are like, what?
That's good.
I know that's what I thought about it. But
yeah. From the 816 Dusty, go to the House of Seafood in Covington, Louisiana. It's not that far from New Orleans. It's all-you-can-eat bar.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. We're not leaving this.
Ooh,
whoa, we got a man in a suit in here today.
It's a lawyer.
Oh, boy. Are we in trouble?
Yeah, we shouldn't have said reply all.
I know. He's here now.
Dusty, I can make you one promise. He will not come back looking like Carson Steele. No offense. No, I know. Just all the gator. I think it's a gator. Is it a gator?
Yeah,
Crocodile?
Either way, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Hen, chicken. What's the difference? Who's having sex with the hen?
Yeah. Who's having sex with Jerry Jones? Somebody. Three-peats are not likely. In fact, it never happened in the NFL. But I was thinking about what we could do with other things that have happened in threes outside of sports. To be fair, Jim Carrey had one hell of a three-peat.
Okay.
Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Bing, bing, bing. Solid three-peat.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Hard to argue that.
You've seen every movie that he's done, those three? Seen The Mask?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Cameron Diaz in that film.
Yep.
Holy smokes. I thought Will Smith was deserving on this category. Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black.
That's good.
I mean, that's young Will.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he had done The Fresh Prince before that, but then it was Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black. Like, the fact that those movies came out in those 3 separate years. Like, I always thought Independence Day was first. Bad Boys was first. I think it was like 94.
Oh, my God.
I think so. I could be wrong. Like 94 or 95.
Oh, my God.
Directors that get one, the Farrelly brothers.
That's good.
By the way, I didn't know they wrote the Virgin episode in Seinfeld. That's another one of those things.
They did?
They wrote that episode.
I did not know that.
Makes sense now. Yeah, they wrote that episode.
Huh.
Yeah, that's when I found out that Garth Brooks' real name was Troyle.
Oh, I got one that may blow your mind here in a second with that real name stuff.
Yeah. But the Farrelly brothers did Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, Something About Mary. I have a soft spot in my heart for all those movies. I mean, they've done great movies throughout their time. But the fact they did Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, Something About Mary, that gives you the clout that you're good. Just whatever you do from here on out.
Yeah.
You can. When it comes to music, I know that this guy's is a bag, but Kanye West, I know you probably are unfamiliar with the albums, but he did College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so many of the songs that you hear, like Through the Wire, all these songs that he did, those all came on those 3 albums. Like, the first 3 albums of Kanye West's run was great. Once his mom passed away, he became this whatever he is, talks on TV with a cloak over his face. Not a great guy, but he did have a great 3-year run. Him and Lil Wayne as well. I threw him in there because of Louisiana. That's where he's from. He's probably a guy you'll see on the TV, one of those celebrities not mentioned. But Carter 1 through Carter 3, I mean, it was every year when I was in college and high school. When it was getting ready to come out, that was when I think really like music was like, hey, midnight, this drops on Apple or on iTunes, whatever it was, Apple Music, and you listen to the whole thing over and over and over again. But yeah, those are some three-peats that have happened in the entertainment industry. Obviously, the Indiana Jones. I don't know if Temple of Doom is considered a hit. It changed the way movies are rated. I know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Raiders, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, fantastic.
That's a great trilogy. It
Lethal
really
Weapon
is.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I think Back to the Future 3 is kind of a miss.
It's a miss.
But 1 and 2 are great.
Like with Major League, 1 is great. 2 and Naked Gun is good. 33 and a third is okay.
But it's not hit.
No, it's not.
Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black, hits.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, hit.
Right. So I looked at it from kind of the similar perspective as you, and one of my, I use the term influences, one of the people that I admire a lot is Will Ferrell, right? And not so much now as he was back in the early 2000s. Like when he was Saturday Night Live and at the beginning, make me laugh all the time. Did you know his real name was John?
No.
John William Ferrell. And you thought Troyle was a big day today, right? We got 2 guys we didn't know who they were.
Troyle Garth Brooks.
Yes. John William Ferrell. So Will Ferrell, an old school elf anchorman. That's a pretty good 3 right there. I mean, and then it's kind of gotten...
what was the first one?
Old school, elf, and anchorman.
Yeah, that's tough because he wasn't like the featured actor in Old School, but nobody really was.
Nobody really was.
Other than like Luke Wilson.
But he was more like Seinfeld, where he may have been the featured guy, but all the ancillary characters play a major
remember
role.
more of that movie of what Will Ferrell does than anybody else.
Absolutely.
Like Vince Vaughn's hilarious in that movie, but you remember say anything about this, I'll kill you. I'm kidding. We'll have home at 8.
Yeah, right.
And then at the very end when he's in the grocery store. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Heard you and Melissa split. Yeah.
Let's go streaking. Yeah. You know, so like Mac. So I got Will Ferrell. Another one that I'm going to throw out there is going to be so bizarre. I'm throwing out the University of Kansas. Larry Brown, Roy Williams, Bill Self. Find me a better, 3 in a row of a coach in any organization.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you can put the Steelers on that list.
Immediately debunked.
Chuck Noll, and
Bill Cowher
and Mike Tomlin.
And that's 3 of the 4 coaches that have ever coached there.
Yeah, I mean, that is good. That is good. All right, name another.
Yeah.
Because usually you don't hit. I mean, Larry Brown, Roy Williams, Bill Self. I mean, my goodness, that's a hell of a run right there for KU. And then finally on this one, and I didn't know which order in which to go because there's so many different variations of a three-peat. And I don't know if even you're familiar with this, guys, but there was a television producer back then named Norman Lear. You've heard of Norman Lear. And he created some of the greatest TV shows of all time. All in the Family, Jeffersons, Maude, Good Times, Facts of Life, Silver Spoon. Like all of those shows from back in the day were all Norman Lear, and they were all very, very socially advanced for the times and were doing things on TV that nobody would do at that point in time. So I'm going to go with Norman Lear with Maude, All in the Family, and Good Times because they came kind of in that order.
And then there's Maude.
That's right. And then the Jeffersons on top of that, and then Silver Spoons, and then Facts of Life. I mean, his rundown of things that he created one day at a time, I mean, it's unbelievable how many top-notch TV shows Norman Lear created and how he changed TV.
Somebody mentions Michael Jackson's three-peat of albums, Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Thriller is still one of the best albums of all time, song to song. Like, there's probably 0 skips on that. Man, I'm trying to think about Fleetwood Mac. I know there's rumors, but I don't really know like the albums in order. I know them, but I don't know them in order. Lethal Weapons, 1, 2, and 3, pretty solid three-piece.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
I think 2 is better than 1. It's dark.
Yeah,
it's tough. Just go with Harrison Ford, multi three-peats. I mean,
Star Wars.
He had a 5-year Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Arks, Blade Runner, Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom. And then you can do a 6th and say,
what about Rocky 2, 3, and 4, or
1, 2, and 3,
or 1, 2, 3? I love like Rocky 4 hits because of the time period of which it was created. So Rocky 5 stuff, that's a good 4-peat right there.
Yeah. Somebody says John Hughes movies, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck.
Yep,
solid run,
really good right there. That's amazing. Yeah,
one that you may not agree with. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, both three-peats that are good. They are good.
Not my speed, but
Steven Inspector has started to type into the show. He says, Nick Cage, The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, back to back to back, 95, 96, 97. Nick Cage also bought a dinosaur skull and a house next to a cemetery that he can't sell.
I wanted to take you guys to do the cemetery tour and see Nick Cage's tomb.
I'm good, man. I don't do ghost tours. I don't do anything like that.
It's in the middle of the day. You walk around the cemetery.
Somebody says, I'm sure Hugh Hefner had a few three-peats in his day. Well played.
I was trying to think of things like that. Like Tom Brady had Bridget Moynihan, then he had Giselle, but there wasn't. Was there a third with Brady?
Kim Kardashian. That was a rumor.
Yeah.
After Giselle.
Yeah, that is true.
So, who knows?
What about Jeter? Like he's got a
Mariah Carey. I don't know anybody else after that. Yeah.
The girl he's married to?
I don't know who that is. Couldn't tell you. Somebody says Denzel might have 2 separate three-peats. That's also true. Coming up on the other side, we go into what we talked about a little bit earlier if you missed it. We'll get into the lead of why I believe, I think that there's a reason why people say they won't watch the Super Bowl, and I think there's plenty of reasons why you could say they're a liar. Plus, we'll have Goldilocks here in about 30 minutes on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Incubus, live. Nice to know you. Performing the album Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. July 8th, Starlight Theater. Wish you were here. With special guest, Manchester Orchestra. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at kcstarlight.com. Don't miss Incubus performing Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. Part of the Capitol Federal Concert Series.
When you have an expert financial partner invested in you, you can't help but feel like a star. Like the new graduate opening their first investment account, the small business owner proudly adding a new location, or the young couple buying their first home. At Community America, we're invested in helping members achieve financial peace of mind with products and services tailored to each stage of life. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union, invested in you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At David's Bridal, love is in every stitch. From the initial sketch to the final details, each style is designed with exquisite craftsmanship. Every wedding gown, bridesmaid look, prom dress, and special occasion style in between features handcrafted details filled with love. Come see the magic in person. Book an appointment and sign up for Diamond Loyalty to save 15% on your first purchase. Earn points towards special rewards and more at davidsbridal.com.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic Motor Oil and get a $15 gift card after rebate, plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 35 northbound, sluggish from Antioch up towards Mission, with construction taking away the right exit lane. 71 northbound on the Missouri side, a little slow from 75th to Gregory. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Card, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Congratulations, Kansas City. The Chiefs are headed to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Finally, I get to do a thanks for listening on the three-peats 316. Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Now I know how it feels.
Jointly.
That's crazy.
That's great.
I guess Jessica Alba and Derek Jeter dated? Damn. Good for him. No wonder he's the captain.
Yeah.
John Mayer's women in his life: Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jessica Simpson, Cameron Diaz, Minka Kelly, Jennifer Aniston, Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian. Good Lord. So really what they're saying is get really good at the guitar and know how to sing and write music, and you will have anything you want. Because talking sports... Anyway, just kidding.
How come, like, celebrities always date celebrities, too? You never just see, like, the rando, you know? Like, John Mayer's dating Sally. Yeah, like, that never happens, right?
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Is Tom Brady and that girl still talking from Instagram who was trying to get after him last year?
If I was Tom, I would just stay single the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean.
Absolutely.
Somebody says the best three-peat we didn't mention was Charlie Sheen's. Weed, cocaine, and heroin.
That's a one-peat. That's an afternoon for him.
That's right. Now I want to bring this up because we talked about how, people will say, oh, I'm not going to listen to, I'm not going to do any watching the Super Bowl because my team lost, and BS. You're watching the Super Bowl. And then a lot of people have said, I'm not watching because the Chiefs have ruined football. They get all the calls. Now there's a video out now. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the referee comes over to Patrick Mahomes and gives him trouble for the spike. And Mahomes like, I won't spike the ball ever again. The ref taps him on the chest and laughs.
What's wrong with that?
Because now they're friends.
Do you not know?
Well, they did it to Josh Allen. Now they do it to Patrick Mahomes. They're liars. They do it all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that, to have that kind of relationship with guys in the NFL. That was a funny moment. Patrick Mahomes tries to spike a ball and throws it in the
Worst
crowd.
throw of the day.
Worst spike I've ever seen, right? And he said it as well. So the referee's not going to laugh about that and have a human moment go, that was awful. Don't ever try to do that again.
You might be the best in the world, but damn, you spiked the ball like crap, dude.
That's right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Also, he was standing right next to the field.
Yeah,
he didn't
right
go over to the the bench. He didn't go over to the bench.
Right.
Yeah,
It was right there on the field.
walking past
So,
him. Hey,
I mean,
trash spike.
But I mean, there was, and I'm trying to remember who the baseball player was, but wanted to get a picture in the All-Star game with Joe West, the umpire, because Joe West was going to retire, and he was one of your legendary umpires. Define legendary however you want. But there was somebody
Deckinger.
but wanted to get his picture taken with Joe West. I mean, like, you work with these guys too. Like, you have that working relationship, and yes, some people are going to become friends with some people, and some people aren't going to become friends with some people. But when Patrick Mahomes tried to spike that ball and it just like slipped off his hand and went haywire, of course everybody's laughing at that. It was a funny moment. So if that's what they're trying to float out there about the referees, again, kick rocks.
Do you want to guess who tweeted it?
Schefter, probably, right?
That's good. No, ML football.
Oh, they suck. Yeah, they're the worst on the internet. That ML football on X, formerly Twitter, they are engagement farmers. That's all they do. And most of the stuff that they put up there is so wildly just wrong. And it's so bad, but it gets you to click on it.
Yeah. So now the refs and Patrick Mahomes are even more friends.
Oh, boy.
That's right. This is Julian Edelman on, I believe it was Dan Patrick. No, it was Rich Eisen. Talking about what happened to them is now happening to the Chiefs and why everybody just needs to relax.
It's apparent when you're on top, everyone wants to try to bring you down. It's a bunch of bull-loney that the league is helping the Kansas City Chiefs. If you got a problem with it, go beat them. Okay, the refs aren't involved in when you throw interceptions, when you fumble the ball, when you jump off sides, when you don't convert third down or fourth down or third and fourth down for short 4 times. They can't control that. Like, if you want to beat them, go beat them. Don't talk about it. Be about it. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say that about the Chiefs.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
I mean, that's exactly right there. From a guy whose dynasty and legacy is maybe legacy on the line, but it's going to change. If the Chiefs go ahead and win this three-peat, he's out there saying enough, okay? Enough. We've got to stop blaming referees and all this other stuff for the successes of the Chiefs. But when you have so much success and nobody knows what to do, it's always about blaming somebody else for their shortcomings. It's an epidemic that we have in this country today, off of the sports field, where it's everybody else's fault. It's never my fault. Well, maybe more people start taking culpability for things, the world will be a better place. But it's easier. And it's, I guess, more fun for people to complain and bitch about things instead of going out there and figuring out why something happened, right? Like, it's easy to say the refs messed it up. It's also harder to go out there and go, well, Josh Allen had an opportunity. They didn't get the fourth down. They had stupid play calling, and they ran James Cook 13 times, who was averaging almost 6.5 yards per carry.
Then what happened? They stopped running the ball.
They stopped running the ball 2 years in a row in the AFC Championship game when teams were running effectively and stopped running the football. But that's the ref's fault, right? Like, we get to that because, again, it's so easy and it's so simple, and people click on that and they get emotional about that kind of stuff. When you have logical conversations with people and present facts that ruin their initial reaction, trademark pending, they do not want you to give them that information because they don't want to hear the truth. I've got my mind made up. Yeah, but here's the facts. Oh, I don't care. I'm still going to blame. Okay, fine. Go about your day.
Yeah. Again, we look at the alt lines. Minus, here you go, Mac, for you. 110 plus yards for Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl is minus 144. I'm taking the under on that.
I'm taking the over.
Okay. I don't see that happening. But again, we'll see if they continue, like Bob said, will they get out of their characteristics of what makes them great? Like,
and that's where Nick Sirianni, but that's where Nick
be
Sirianni is the head coach now. This is what you do as the head coach, right? This is why Sean McDermott is an abject failure as a head football coach in the postseason, because he doesn't reel in his guys. Like, he should have radioed up to the booth to that offensive coordinator that everybody loves. Gonna be, he's so good. Radio up to the booth as the head coach and go, hey, bro, this guy's running 6.5 yards a clip. Why aren't we running James Cook? Like, that's your job as a head coach during the game. Checks and balances, because you do get lost in calling a game. I've talked to guys who have called games before, and you're calling a play while thinking about the next play, while going through 10 different scenarios. Like, it just rapidly goes, right? And so you do get kind of lost in the trees. But that's where a good head coach comes into play and says, hang on a second here, guys. We haven't run James Cook in like 30 minutes, and he's getting 6.5 yards per carry. You need to get back to running James Cook. Let's go. That's what a good head coach does during the course of a game. That's why, in my opinion, Sean McDermott's not a good head coach. You had an opportunity to bring your offensive coordinator into the mix here and say, hey, let's do this. And if you did that as a head coach and he still didn't listen to you, then that's grounds for termination too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's like the quarterback conversation, though. It's like if Trevor Lawrence, you don't think Trevor Lawrence is good, then what are you going to go get? Like, if you think you can fix it or you think you can get over the hump, you keep what you have that is proven. Like, there's talent there. You fire Sean McDermott, like, what's next?
Well, that's the thing, right?
Right.
I was talking more Joe Brady grounds for termination. Like, if the coach tells you to run the football and you decide as the offensive coordinator, we're not going to do that, no, that's insubordination.
Right. And I think the other thing, too, is that I'm starting to have opposite takes in my head, but like I said last week, that the winner of the coin toss at the beginning of the game will win the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the opposite. I think if you receive the ball in this game, you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you have a massive advantage if you go out there and score first because you are behind if you're the Eagles. You have to catch up.
Right.
And if you don't score on your opening drive and the Chiefs go at 14-0, Saquon Barkley can't get the ball every single time. So I don't know where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting play on that one. And
but
that's
also you're forfeiting having the ball in the second half. But
right.
Again, if you're up, early and they can't run the ball, then it doesn't really mean as much if you get the ball at the second half.
Or just have confidence in your defense like they did against Buffalo. Quick 3 and out and take the ball and score.
When's the last time somebody ran for 100 yards against the Chiefs? Because it wasn't Mixon. It wasn't Cook. Bye week in the first week of the playoffs. Nobody for Denver ran for 100 yards.
Was it, what's his name on Carolina?
Was it in Pittsburgh? Oh, was it? It was that big 60-yard bust.
Had a massive run.
What is that guy's name? Not Chuba Hubbard.
No, it wasn't Chuba
it was
that
a backup.
day.
But it wasn't the rookie
Miles
they drafted.
Sanders. It was, yeah. Gosh.
Was it?
Maybe it
I
was
know who
Chuba.
it was. It was that McCaffrey guy.
No. Yeah. And then somebody in the text line says the Chiefs haven't given up 100 yards rushing from a running back in the playoffs since 2019.
Yeah, this is the best one they're going to face, though, I think, with the ability to break it. I mean, like Derrick Henry's all good. But you know what? This conversation, now that you say that, whoever said that on the text line, again, the wheels start turning as you hear things, starting to sound like the conversation we heard in 2019. Nobody could stop Derrick Henry, and Frank Clark went, F that, and we're going to go and stop Derrick Henry. And were they holding 69 yards rushing that day or something like that?
Less than that,
right?
yeah.
I mean, they went down and shut down Derrick Henry in that Titans game because everybody said, oh, Derrick Henry's going to run all over Derrick Henry. And the Chiefs put the kibosh on that real fast, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe that's kind of the conversation leading into next week is Saquon Barkley, and the Chiefs are going to, we're going to shut him down too. You go out there and you shut down Saquon Barkley. Now all of a sudden people are talking about your defense more than they're talking about the offense,
Yeah. And that's what happened last year. Everybody was like, Christian McCaffrey, fumble.
Yeah, but
then Isaiah Pacheco fumbled, so it kind of is a moot point.
But still, no,
they were talking to him
true.
like he was a Greek god and that he was immortal. And then the first
play,
fumble.
And also, too, with the coin toss and winning and going up and all that. Okay, that sounds wonderful, like going up 7-0.
Yeah.
If Nick Sirianni is a good head coach, which I think he is trending in that direction. Again, I'm not there every day. I don't know, but it feels like it to me. He's gotten the 2 Super Bowls. You can't get out of your game plan. Okay, so they scored. Big deal. Mm-hmm. Have confidence in what you've been putting in play for 2 weeks and go out there and execute it. When coaches get nervous, they get scared, they start coaching for their jobs, that's when things start to crumble. That's why having Andy Reid is awesome. He doesn't care. He's not coaching for his job. He's got self-esteem. A lot of these coaches don't. They fall down 7-0, and it's like, oh my God, I got to figure out something different. No, you just put this whole game plan in. Use it.
J-Mac with the news.
He had no 100-yard rusher against the Chiefs in 2024. Regular season at all. Leonard Fournette in that Super Bowl 89 rushing yards, but they got the run the whole time. Mm-hmm. Mixon's had success on the Bengals and in the Texans.
Is this true that nobody's ran for 100 yards against Spagnuolo's defense from the Texans?
I'm going to have to call cap on that.
Yeah, I don't think that's
2 decades.
I mean, no. You tell me Steve Spagnuolo led defense when he was on some bad
No, I'm talking about the Chiefs. The Chiefs with Spags.
Oh, the Chiefs with Spags?
In his whole 4 years? I can't imagine
that.
I mean, that if that is the case and that is true,
remarkable.
Why are we not talking about that?
Why are we not? Yeah,
we should look that up, though.
Max,
so nobody had any 100 yards this year. Have to look at next year, and then we got 2 others. So we'll do that during the break. We'll come back. We'll have Goldilocks here on the other side. Alex Gold from That Betting Show.
Which one?
That one. Here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Real Stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state, back and forth, dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig, an absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Today, expect drizzle transitioning to rain with a high of 50.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. It's time for Golden Locks with Alex Gold.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good.
right, here we go. We got Alex Gold from That Betting Show.
Which one?
Well, we don't know. Which mic?
That one.
That
one. That one.
So we're trying to do some due diligence on history here. I got to say, we got a text that says Spagnuolo, since he's been with the Chiefs, has not given up a 100-yard rushing.
No,
2024 is out. Nobody did it this year.
Right.
I don't know about last year.
No, somebody did do it last year.
There's here's why, without even looking it up, I think the answer is no for the regular season, because we would have been talking about that stat for the last couple of years.
I would think,
that's
right?
That's why I told Bob, I was like, how do we miss this?
Yeah.
So I think it's happened.
Somebody
The
text Matt
postseason,
McMullen.
the postseason part is pretty incredible, though. The fact that he hasn't in the postseason.
And the most ever is, I think Max had 89 to Fournette because they were up so big. They just kept handing the ball off.
Yeah, but I think also, too, if you want to say the postseason, that's fine. That's completely different than ever. I mean,
Correct, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Zamir White, 145 yards last Christmas.
Nice, and it's over.
There you go. Thank you.
On the
Thank
Raider
you, Mac.
game, yeah. So basically inside a calendar year, which, the Chiefs have gone but to 25
So that's
and
one.
1 or something.
All right, had they done it twice? No show last night, so you get to get all your bets off today.
Yeah, man.
What do you do in a week like this?
It's so
college basketball.
No, but this is still a great Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
And the thought process is, depending on where you're trying to bet, this is a great week for do all your prop stuff this week.
Mm-hmm.
Do all your prop stuff this week. Don't the spread. You can
Why?
do that next week. The reason for that, especially if you're looking at overs, whether we're talking Barkley rushing, Mahomes passing, whatever it may be. If you're someone that likes the number what you saw when it opened up on Monday, and you are already leaning towards the over, you want to bet if you're thinking overs, bet them early. Because when you have the masses betting on this, and I think the number last year, I don't know what the projection is. Last year, they thought 68 million American adults would bet on the Super Bowl.
Is that a lot?
$23 billion on the Super Bowl. This was last year, and that was a 30% increase from 2023. I haven't seen the estimate
How many
for this.
states are online this year for gambling,
Yeah, so
New Orleans is, I know that.
The percentage, yeah, you can definitely go down there.
Louisiana.
I was going to say, for those that are going, real quick, for those that are going to New Orleans, there are a lot of the same apps, but there's one app that we don't have on the Kansas side right now that you can take advantage of a
But I can
promo.
use DraftKings?
Yeah, DraftKings down there, FanDuel's down there, but
you just have to change your state, when you're out of town.
Bet365 is not in Kansas, and so if you've never signed up through them when you were in Iowa or Illinois, you guys should be able to get a little bonus when you're down there. But anyway, or any fans that are going down there as well.
Get a little bonus.
But yeah, Bob. So I don't know I can't remember how many states went online. So the number it'll probably increase from $23 billion. But the reason why I bring that up is the casual bettor in particular. Our natural gut is we like points, we like overs. That's just nobody wants to bet unders, and so if you're thinking about betting overs, the better number is now, or honestly, a couple days ago, versus waiting till next Thursday. That, and then also the reason why I say props, the more exotic props, what they call the specials. If you go on any of your books, they have a whole section called Super Bowl 59 specials, and these are the fun kind of more long shot bets. The odds on these are all going to go down as we get closer because your buddies are going to talk about, did you see that? If Barkley gets an octopus or whatever, for those that know what that is, it's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from the same player. Like that's 20-1 right now.
Does it have to be on the same play?
Yeah, it happened in the Phoenix. In
because
Phoenix.
of the 8.
No, I understand that, but I didn't know if you could get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion later if it counted that way.
No, it has to be an octopus is in the exact same possession or
Which
scoring
happened
drive.
last time they played Philadelphia in the Super Bowl.
So that's why everybody's talking about it again.
Okay.
It did happen.
Did it.
Jalen Hurts did it against the Chiefs.
What are the odds on something like that?
So this will run, at least at FanDuel, 27-1 for Hurts to do it. Mm-hmm. For Barkley to do it, it's 20-1. And then I don't see it right now, but back then, I'm sure you can still find it somewhere. Just anybody to have an octopus in the game probably is like a 10-1 bet, 9-1.
That doesn't seem like it should be bigger. I would think
It's because it happened recently, so now everybody's kind of on it. This is
okay.
But so a lot of these bets you want to do earlier. If you're looking at the Chiefs, are they going to cover 1.5? Like that's not going to change much by the time we get to next Sunday. Like you can wait on that if you want to just get a better feel. You want to make sure nobody gets hurt in a practice or something like that. Then by all means go for it. But some of these props, especially the yardage, I think the biggest uptick in yardage. Some of the most popular bets right now. I was pulling this up before I came on with you guys. Let me see if I can find the link on it. But basically, as you would expect, the Barkley yardage prop is very, very popular. So the number one bet right now is
Barkley, but also Dallas Goedert, their tight end in Philly, over 48.5 receiving yards. We all know the story with the tight ends, and against Kansas City's defense, they've allowed now officially the second most receiving yards per game. Dalton Schultz went over in the divisional round. Dalton Kincaid did not, though. He only had 13 against Kansas City, but that's a popular bet, and so that's a number that keeps climbing. Let's see where the latest is over at even for FanDuel. My guess is it's gone up from 46. It's probably about 50 yards. Saquon Barkley's has gone up dramatically.
And that's just heavily influenced because the Chiefs and tight end history.
Yeah, and it's the popular bet. People just go with whatever everybody's kind of going with. The biggest mover this week, though, has been Mahomes' rushing yards. So we talked about it a week or two ago that in the playoffs he runs more. And this past week he went over his total. This thing opened at 26 yards. It's already up to 40 at some spots.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
for Mahomes?
Yeah, at a couple bucks.
Have you ever seen something move like that before?
I'm sure it's happened, but not in regards to a quarterback rushing prop.
Not a prop bet. Yeah, that's
so.
insane.
Let me see at FanDuel right now.
God.
And again, I would say more than any other week.
Take the under.
So at FanDuel it's 27.5, but a couple of these places it's gone up above that. Let me see what the number. That move I'm citing from Action Network. So I'll read you the exact number for that as well. So Patrick Mahomes also rushing total open 28.5. It was bet up to 40.5 on Tuesday morning. This was at BetMGM. But this is why you shop around. I can still get 27.5 at FanDuel.
Underdog has 29.5.
Yeah, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going up. So again, if you really still like the over, like bet it now.
What do you think about that one? Like, where would that number be for Mahomes? Where you're like, I'm always going to take the owner, except if over until they get to here.
Yeah, anything above 30, I'm not taking anymore.
So what about 29.5? What do you do there?
Yeah, I would leave. If I had to make the bet, I would take the over.
Yeah,
the numbers on the reason why it keeps getting bet up. Has been everybody's narrative around him rushing in the postseason, but he's only gone over 20 over that 4 of 9 playoff games over the last 3 postseasons. There's also the rushing attempt market. Remember, kneel downs count. So if you think the Chiefs are in a position to kneel, so 4.5 for the AFC title game. And he went over that because they, of course, had the kneel downs as well.
That counts as a rushing attempt, but it also gives you negative yards.
That's the tricky thing. You can lose 15 yards pretty quick. Mahomes does the one where he goes way back.
Yeah.
You could lose a lot quick, but it's at 6.5 at most sports books. It's still 5.5 at BetMGM. This week in particular, this game, you really do have to shop around. I know you all have your favorite book. Like I use FanDuel, but you really need to look around because you can cost yourself. We were talking in the bullpen with Cody about Noah Gray. Like, I'm not saying to bet this, but just 2 touchdowns for Noah Gray, okay? On one book, he's 95-1 to do that, okay? $10 pays $950.
It's nice, yeah.
Another book, it's 40-1. That's a lot of. That's a huge. That's half
massive.
the odds. That's a huge swing. So you got to just be smart. I would shop around on some of these. And before you hit submit, just go see. Like if it's that big of a swing, you got to bet it at the other book. I'm sorry, you just do. If one's 9.5 and one's 93-1 instead of 95-1. Okay, maybe it's easier. You got your money in the account already.
Right.
But that's too big of a difference to not bet the 95 in that example than 40. I mean, that's crazy.
I thought the books were pretty like lockstep with each other. This
is why the prop market is fun because it's gotten tighter than it used to be, but prop market is much tougher to judge for the books. It's much easier for them to set the line of 1.5 or a total 49.5 points for a game versus the prop market. It's a market that people can get ahead of. And this is why I'm saying bet props this week. Next week, everything's going to be adjusted. It's either the value is gone. Like you wait till next Thursday on props, the value's just gone. The yardage for Barkley on rushing right now is 112.5. It might continue to go up. Maybe all of a sudden there's value on the under. But this is what I'm saying. If you're thinking about betting overs, you want to bet the overs now. The chances of the yardage going down from where it is today is very slim, just because so many people like betting. It's fun, points, yards.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would approach betting it. And then there's the fun props. Unfortunately, you can't bet on Gatorade color in Kansas.
Or length of the national.
Now let me ask you this: will that be allowed in Missouri?
There's a chance, depending on. I don't know what the specific language. Each state is different.
Yeah.
So a chance, yes. I don't know what the specific language would have to be for that. I think it's Illinois. There's like 8 states that you can do Gatorade color. Otherwise, you got to go offshore. And this has been a market that has been written about even by Mike Florio and others because there's been some irregularities over the years with this because it's one of the markets that's very easy to to spill the beans on, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so the last 2 Chiefs games in the Super Bowl when they've won have been purple. So right now, if you bet offshore or something, it's plus 210 is purple. Do you think, okay, they're just going to go back to purple at 3-peat again? Or do you think,
you would think superstition would lead you to think purple, right?
Or are they worried because, look, let's be honest, people have talked. That's why this
now it'll be orange.
But if you're I know with the NFL and their teams, everything is thought about and planned out.
Sure.
And superstitions do run wild. They want to stay at the same hotels and all that kind of stuff. And I could see that being one of the, look, we've won 2 Super Bowls with that purple Gatorade. You better make sure there's purple Gatorade in that cooler.
Yeah. Why would you stop now? Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I'm with you. So
And it's the better flavor.
You can't bet on that here. I don't know if you can in Louisiana. You guys have to check on that. But if you can't when you get down there, purple. But that's also a market that'll drastically change next week because rumors will start up. Somebody will open their mouth, and all of a sudden you'll see one of these Gatorade colors. Either purple will go down to minus whatever, or another one. And it doesn't just happen by accident. It's because somebody gets. I mean, with all of these, there's always inside information. Doesn't mean we all know about it, but there's somebody in Vegas or wherever, somebody opens their mouth, somebody hears something, and then they adjust the line accordingly. I mean, that's how a lot of this stuff is set to when it comes to the props. But the props are always the market where you can have I would say the bettor has the best chance of taking advantage of versus just minus 1.5, which I'm going to be betting the Chiefs to win the game. Spoiler, but that market's not changing.
Such
much,
a homer.
I know, right?
So when you've got all the prop bets done this week, then what is next week about for bettors? What should they be kind of focused on, looking at, thinking about?
I mean, monitor injury news. I mean, that it sounds silly, but
that O-line and Philly's hurt.
Yeah, just see where injury stuff, because that, depending on the player, though, like an offensive lineman being out's not going to suddenly swing the line 3 points. There's
But it will move Saquon's number down.
It could.
You would think
it could, depending on the injury. Yeah, stuff like that can change. You'll start to see next week some of the bigger sites in the betting world, if they're all pushing a certain prop, all of a sudden that market's going to shift, and so you keep an eye on that. Maybe all of a sudden there is value on something that there wasn't value on this week.
Yeah.
But the total, I would say next week the most likely thing to move other than props will be the total more than the spread. Maybe the spread goes to 2, maybe it goes down to 1, but the Chiefs aren't going from 1.5 point favorites to 3.5 or 3 point favorites unless there's a significant injury news or something going on. But the total 49.5, much like the yardage stuff, I will be shocked if it goes down. If the total moves at all, it's going up.
I've got it at 48.5 as of right now.
And it's 49.5 at FanDuel. So again, shop around. If you
what did you say your Noah Gray 2 touchdowns was?
95 to 1.
So at DraftKings, it's plus 5,500.
So same deal.
Yep.
It's a bad number.
That to me is
because it's 10 to
so
win
weird
560,
bet.
where his is 10 to win 950.
Yeah.
Why would you?
And look, it's a long shot. We're doing it for fun.
No,
but
I'm playing your ideology of hey, don't go here. You don't have to stay here. You can go.
Yeah, and in for just any time touchdown, just single touchdown. I'm sure if we were to go and cross check it book by book, you'd find other irregularities between the books. I mean, Saquon's probably the favorite of every single book to score a touchdown.
DraftKings, he's minus 200. Then it's Jalen Hurts at minus 110. Then the plus money is Travis Kelce is the next one at plus 135. And him to get 2 touchdowns is only plus 1,000.
So he's 9.5 to 1 to do 2 touchdowns at Travis at FanDuel. Whereas you mentioned Saquon's minus 200 at
DraftKings.
He's minus 195 at FanDuel. So that's very close.
Yeah.
What do you think would cause more of a ruckus, if you will, a disturbance on the line? Saquon Barkley injury or Jalen Hurts injury?
Saquon.
I still think the quarterback, man.
Really?
Even though
Kenny Pickett would drastically change the Chiefs to 6.5.
I'd have to go. There's a chart. Somebody has a chart where they lay out how many points each quarterback is worth to the odds makers, and I think Mahomes.
Do they use the infinity signal for Patrick?
Yeah, they should, right? No, I think I didn't check this. I want to say he's obviously worth the most points. Is it 5.5 or 6, something like that? Or is Jalen Hurts maybe he's? I honestly don't know the number. I'm guessing he's probably like a 4 or something like that. So the quarterback is still the most important position, obviously. So Barkley's huge, but it's still the quarterback for them. I was just going to say on the MVP front real quick, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that next. Yeah, because, there's not a lot of money in that, right?
So I think personally only 3 players can win it. There's one that I would be open to sprinkling. So for those that don't know, right now Mahomes is plus 110, at least at FanDuel, to win MVP. Barkley's plus 280. Jalen Hurts is plus 370. Of course, the Eagles players are not having better odds because they're the underdogs in the game. So we all know you got to win to be an MVP. So then we just know this to become a quarterback award, much like a lot of the awards markets. Barkley's the one exception to this. You can see a formula, right, guys? If he has 180 yards and 2 touchdowns and they win, and Jalen Hurts has a touchdown and a $190, like they're going to probably give it to Barkley in that scenario.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Chiefs side,
like when they gave
it's
it to Damian
hard
Williams.
to imagine. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because
What did you say when they gave it to Damian Williams?
Yeah. But that's
Patrick Mahomes.
But Barkley has the narrative on his side too, because he's also had a great year.
Yeah.
But that what you said about Damian Williams is why I think it's so difficult to bet on anybody other than Mahomes to win MVP on the Chiefs side, because Damian Williams probably should have been the MVP in that game, and he wasn't, right? And ultimately he didn't win it. Travis Kelce's the only other player I would consider throwing $1 or $2 on. He's 18-1, and that is just that. Yeah, the yardage he gets, of course, Mahomes gets as well. This is why he's 18-1. But maybe there's some, the talk about retirement, the Taylor Swift thing, and you just think somehow it all comes together and it's almost too perfect and people vote on him. Otherwise, I just putting money on Xavier Worthy at 30-1. I think you're throwing your money away. What is he doing? Is he taking a jet sweep for 85 yards and a touchdown? And he also has 2 other touchdown catches. Can
I throw a wild card at you?
Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay, Harrison Butker.
That was the thing last year. Last year in Vegas, that was the popular one. And until overtime, he was going to win. Once it went to overtime, it was over for Butker because Mahomes was going to lead them down to a game-winning drive. And that's what's so interesting. People will be like, "Hey, Butker almost won," but I can do that for every bet.
The game-winning field goal.
What's the score though? 6-3.
But it's never going to be that with these two teams. I see what you're saying.
That's what's tough.
But what if it's 23-20 and he kicks the game-winning field goal and the Chiefs win 23-20?
Is that the only field goal he has?
Well, you're at 20 before that, so I'm going to say there's probably another one there. I'm not going to say he's missing, because if he misses an extra point, he's out of the conversation.
He'd have to go full Boswell for Pittsburgh, what he did to Kansas City.
It's just 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 type
Honestly,
of thing.
Bob, you need last year's Super Bowl, except in overtime, the Chiefs somehow... they don't get the ball first or whatever.
Is Tony Danza still kick for the Eagles? Is that the guy?
It's Elliott.
Josh Elliott.
Jacob.
I hear you, Bob. He's, by the way, what, 200-1? Something like that? Let's see. $10 to win 2,000. Yeah, for Butker to win MVP. Too many things have to happen.
He kicked a game records kick last year.
Yeah, and he still
wasn't even close.
It's just tough. I mean, we all know the last time they played the Eagles for a quarter and a half, and especially if the Bolton return's not called back for a touchdown. Nick Bolton, for a little while, people are like, wow, maybe Nick Bolton has a chance to win.
No doubt.
But all it takes is a game-winning drive from Mahomes, and it's over. He's winning it automatically.
Yeah, now I do believe, because I haven't been to a Super Bowl game since, I want to say, the Raiders. Okay, so that's 20-some years ago. If I'm not mistaken, any media member got the opportunity to vote for the MVP and all that stuff. Were they still doing that the last couple of years?
Yeah, the media.
So you had an MVP vote and everything like that for the Super Bowl.
So the media not every media member that's there. Though.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did not have a.
You did not have a vote. So they scaled that back a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, if I did, they sure didn't come and ask me. I'll just tell you that.
Let me
Not
ask
that
though.
guy. He gambles.
Yeah.
If you're a vote, that's what I'm getting at. If you're a voter in this,
you probably should not be. Yes,
you should probably not be allowed to be betting.
I would agree. I don't know how they cross-check that.
I understand. Well, the NFL figures it out. Believe me, they find these guys doing all the illegal stuff, gambling. But I'm saying, if you are one of these guys or gals that votes for the MVP of the regular season and coach of the year and all that kind of stuff. You should not be allowed to gamble because that is a conflict of interest.
Yeah,
I'm 100%
with
you.
Football games. So
yeah, no, I'm with
weird
you.
Things.
Someone on the text line said, "Hey, didn't Cooper Kupp win MVP?" Yeah, wide receivers won it before, but remember what circumstance had to happen. He had 8 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Rams win. He also scored the game-winning touchdown with 1:25 left. He also ran for a first down on 4th and 1, and the Matthew Stafford stat line was unimpressive in that game. He had 2 interceptions. Yeah, 3 touchdowns, but he threw 2 picks. So that's the scenario. It's very
you throw
specific.
2 interceptions, you're out.
Is there a 0% chance that somebody other than Mahomes can win? Of course, it's not a 0% chance. It's just I just understand the the fine line that you're talking about there. I mean,
Well, the
I would
refs will
almost
probably
rather
make
bet
sure
on a
Mahomes
defensive
gets
player, like somehow out of nowhere. But even for Chris Jones to win it, like Chris
God.
Jones would have to have.
He'd have to have
I think
three sacks and one would be a strip sack, fumble, touchdown.
and he's the one that returns it for a touchdown.
Does Bolton get MVP 2 years ago if he scores?
Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Kidding.
You're
No,
good.
he said if, in fact, he would have gotten that second touchdown.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
That's exactly.
But does he get it, though? Do people vote for him, or are we still going to the
If the
quarterback
defensive
on
player,
that stuff?
it's like he just defended with Cooper Kupp. Like
Right.
If Nick Bolton had 2 touchdowns as a middle linebacker in a Super Bowl, he's doing outlier type of stuff to where it's like clearly this guy is known for 12 points himself. He's the MVP. It's like I think it was Dexter Jackson when Tampa and Vegas played. He won the MVP because he had
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler.
Yeah.
But again, think about that
Miller.
play. Think about the plays that happen. I mean, it can happen. It just takes extraordinary moments, and the game flow has to be kind of perfect as well.
Yeah,
because I just feel like even if Bolton did that, we still have Patrick Mahomes on one ankle.
Yeah, like Nico, for example, like just to be way crazy, like Nico Remigio. Okay, he's on the board here to win Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, he was on your show last week or whatever.
Now he's
right?
on K Adams. I got to figure out how I go from here to K.
You
Adams.
need K Adams. Yeah,
I could hook you up with a handler.
Oh,
maybe you can get on K Adams that way. I don't know.
Get on.
He said it, not me. 10 to win 6,000. Remigio would probably, guys, have to return 2 kicks for a touchdown.
You think 2, not like 1 wouldn't get it done,
No,
really?
Did Desmond Howard win it that year, though, when he went all the way in for Green Bay against...
But it's become more and more of a quarterback award. Like, if the game was... If it was the only touchdown in the game, Bob, then that's all he would need to do. But if it's 28-21 and it's tied at 21 and Remigio returns it, maybe if it's like on the final second of the game. Otherwise, like he might have to return 2 of them.
He'd have to have like a punt for a touchdown and a kickoff for a touchdown. I do like this bet, though, that I just found.
Yeah.
On DraftKings, it's under, what is it? Like game I don't know.
Game specials or something?
Yeah, something like that. Trending specials.
Okay.
It says, X gonna give it to you.
Okay.
Xavier Worthy to have 15 yards rushing or more and 85 yards receiving or more plus 750.
Yeah, they're getting you on the rushing.
I know.
That's where
because he only gets about one attempt a game, and
they're getting you in there on the rushing.
Well,
he went over
his
his
lock. He used to be every week. It was like 4 yards, 4.5, 3.5, and then it's gone. Now it's like 15, 18.
Yeah, I mean, he had 16 last week, but prior to that, that was the most.
Did you say the number was 18?
15 yards rushing, of course it is.
He had 16 in the title game. He had here's this other scary
thing. 100
thing.
total yards is what they're getting at. Yeah.
And he had -8 against the Texans because that's the dangerous thing on the jet sweep. He could have had a great 20-yard run for you, and you're thinking, man, I got this. And then Dusty, they run one more time, and he loses 9 yards, and you're done.
Well, that was like the bet I had at the last game of the year. Carson Wentz over half total yard for the game. And he ended up with 10 total yards for the game.
Would that not be the ultimate flex at the end of the game? The Chiefs are up by like 14 points, and all of a sudden
Winston
Andy
kneel
puts
down.
Winston there.
Oh, my, I didn't even think of that. How awesome would that be?
Yeah.
It would be incredible.
That'd be the biggest troll job of all time. What do you guys got coming up on Cody and Gold today?
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Andy, you got to do it, buddy.
We've got actually, we have Vern join us for a little bit, too. Before we even knew the news about their signing, we want to talk to him a little bit. The Royals rally going on.
A big show Saturday,
this
right?
weekend. Yeah, he'll be on the air Saturday. And then I want to talk a bit more about how rematches usually go in these kind of games, in particular, teams facing each other again with the same coach, the same quarterback, 4-0. Yeah, Dusty, exactly. So we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Plus, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes speaking right around 11:45 here on 96.5 The Fan.
Yeah, listen. All right, well, yeah, we'll see you then. He did mention Josh Vernier on the air 9 to noon this Saturday as Royals rally over at the old K.
Yeah, we'll have Q on tomorrow at 8:30 talking about
That's right.
that.
Vern will have some loaded guests. He'll have Bobby Witt Jr. at 9:45, Jonathan India, new Royal, at 10, J.J. Piccolo at 10:45, Cole Reagans at 11, and then our guy, Matt Cotrero, at 11:15.
There you go, Vern.
There you go. Big Vern's back, baby. God,
It's time. I mean, spring training starts next week, boys.
Thank God for a winning football team. Coming up on the other side, I want to get to something that somebody sent me yesterday about doing something nice for somebody because it's absolutely awesome. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain clearing special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2024-11121.
Rally House.
Shop every team in town.
College
and pro.
Come on, it's time to go.
We're New Orleans bound, KC. Shop the largest selection of Chiefs, AFC champions, and Super Bowl gear at Rally House. New postseason styles arriving daily.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State. Chiefs and Royals make KC great.
Rally House.
Rally House.
It's your city, it's your house. It's the Rally House.
Limited quantity. Selection varies by location. Shop rallyhouse.com.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
At David's Bridal, love is in every stitch. From the initial sketch to the final details, each style is designed with exquisite craftsmanship. Every wedding gown, bridesmaid look, prom dress, and special occasion style in between features handcrafted details filled with love. Come see the magic in person. Book an appointment and sign up for Diamond Loyalty to save 15% on your first purchase. Earn points towards special rewards and more at davidsbridal.com.
The best mornings
In the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com.
Final segment here on Fescoe and Dusty. We kind of end with fill your heart with joy. It's kind of gloomy outside. Maybe you're a little depressed. Maybe you're down. Our buddy Blair Falcone, great guy. Done a lot of good for me.
Friend of Rob Maloney's, too.
Yeah, great dude. Blair Falcone, listener, daily listener, P1, A1 from day one. He says, first off, congratulations to you guys getting to go down to the Super Bowl. Second, I am once again following in your footsteps and doing things good for people and others. After the game, I posted confetti for anyone who wants some after the AFC Championship game. My thought is, not everybody gets to go to a Chiefs game ever in their life, let alone an AFC Championship game. So the least I can do is put a smile on people's faces and give them a part of history. Over 70 people responded and gave me their address, and I'm mailing it out today. I figured I could cover the postage and give people history and make them smile free of charge. Thanks again for inspiring others to do good things for people. And in the picture, there is a certificate of authentication that it's from the AFC Championship game, and then a stack of letters to go out so that everybody can get some confetti that maybe not would have been there. Like, that's the thing. It's like Cody and Gold told me, like, if you go and they win, bring back some confetti because it sells in the garage sale. Like, you just never know how important certain things are. So, again, Blair, hats off to you. Thanks for being a perfect person. Sometimes it's you don't find a lot of those guys, but I think he gave me a Sandlot picture of all the characters, and every single character signed it above their name.
Whoa, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If
you could get an autograph photo of like any movie cast, that's probably one of the top on the list. I mean, when you think about like great movies
he's like, I just figured you love Sandlot. You talk about it all the time. I was like, dude, this is my childhood. This was my movie. I watched it all the time.
That's
so
cool.
old that I used to watch it, put it in the VHS rewinder, shut it, start it up again. So, again,
is that one that you can just watch over and over and over again
to
and
this
just
day.
like never get sick of it?
Yeah. I literally, I'm not even kidding with the No Sports. AMC has had Shawshank and Forrest Gump on.
I know.
I've watched Shawshank and Forrest Gump.
Yeah. What also too is Netflix yesterday finally released their version of the OJ documentary.
I'm done.
Series,
I don't need it anymore.
I kind of felt that way. Then I got a text from somebody who goes, "Oh my God, this may be the best one." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, how many more like subplots are there? I mean, I guess you haven't watched it yet, so I'll wait.
Yeah, no, I'll let you know. But
I told everybody I wasn't going to watch the
but I'm obsessed with that. Like that's my
I would say 94
obsession. That was senior year of high school, getting ready to go to college. Like it was my wheelhouse. The Knicks are in the NBA Finals. There's no Jordan to worry. Oh my God, it's OJ. And I've done a lot. Like
I've got back in time.
Yeah,
because you're prevalent then. Like I was. I think 94, what would I have been? I've been 6, 7.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember about that situation was my grandparents lived across the street, and we would get home and we would go straight over to my grandparents' house and we'd sit in front of the TV. We watched the entire chase.
So yeah, you watched it. We watched the entire trial. I did anyway in college. Like that was like running home. It used to be like Dukes of Hazzard and Jerry Springer.
It was must-see TV.
Yeah, and then Dukes of Hazzard, Jerry Springer was after OJ because OJ was my freshman year, and I remember the verdict and the reaction and everything. So for me, it's like it's my obsession. Outside of life in general. Like if there's something about OJ, like I'm in. I always crave more and more and more information on that and more stories, if you will, and facts and things of that nature, because it still is one of the most bizarre things we've ever witnessed in our lifetime. Like they still say to this day, it was the busiest pizza delivery day in the history of the world because you're watching the NBA Finals and then the OJ, and nobody's leaving their couch when OJ Simpson. I mean, I drive a white Bronco. Okay, there are
because of
big portion of I talked for years if the Bronco ever came out, I was going to get a white Bronco, and then the Bronco came out, I had to get the white Bronco, right?
Yeah.
And so like that was just such a big part of that 2 years for me where you were fully invested and these people became TV characters. And when the thing came out on FX, we had a lot of those folks on from the movie and talked about it. I mean, it was unbelievable. The word spectacular comes to mind, but it's 2 murders. It's not spectacular, but the whole way that thing was televised and consumed by America. Insane.
I think it was not the one that they had John Travolta in it, but the actual documentary that came out on like ESPN at 30 for 30. I think the craziest thing that I thought was interesting was obviously I knew about as I got older all the events that were around it. I would say, like, obviously, like, the strike was happening. The Olympics were happening.
That's right. 94 was the strike. That we had
there's
baseball.
I think it's called like June 7th, 1994.
Yes, that is great.
Correct. I say that's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
If you talk about being like alive in that time of period. But you had Olympics. You had, because I think the United States had just beaten Brazil, and the World Cup was in. Maybe it was the World Cup.
It was the World Cup in 94.
Yeah, the United States was in Chicago, and I think they either beat Brazil or they had a big upset win. The strike had happened, OJ happened, and obviously the Rodney King stuff had just happened. So there was like all this like turnover in the world from all different aspects. And I remember the one thing I
the
thought,
Rodney King happened in 92, and that's important in the OJ thing because that set the tone for where race relations were in Los Angeles
and
at that time.
Televised, like it was on camera.
Yes.
And I think the one thing that I thought was interesting was that the deliberation period was super short.
90 minutes.
And they were like, you're like, why would they come to such a short? You don't realize that trial went on forever.
For a year, these people were like
Cooped
basically
up
locked up in a hotel.
And they're like, we don't care. Like, that's literally the essential, that's the take I took from it, was like, he's innocent, we don't care, he's had enough like evidence, like just get us out of here.
He's not guilty, we're done, we're out of here. And I love hearing the jurors tell that story. They get back to the deliberation room, they look around, like, all right, not guilty, everybody good, fine, done. And then they just kind of sat there for a little bit because they had to call everybody because like all the lawyers were going up to Northern California for the weekend thinking they were going to get out of town, the deliberation, and like all these folks are starting to get out of town and take their private jet, and they get the call, the jury has reached a decision. Everybody right back to the courthouse.
Yeah, no Olympics. I meant the World Cup is what I meant.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I said Olympics originally, but sorry. Yeah, no Olympics 94. It was 92, 96 because 96 was what, Atlanta when that happened?
Yes, I believe that was 96.
Somebody says from 75, Domino's set the record for most pizzas sold in a day during the chase, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to leave.
Why would you? I mean, think about
the other thing I realized was the conversation he was having with like, what was his lawyer best friend on the phone? He's like,
it was Kardashian.
It was Robert.
That's why the Kardashians are famous.
Yeah.
It's not because they did anything. It's because he was OJ's best friend and one of his lawyers. Well, but they wouldn't be going viral. Nobody would know who they were without the father being, part of it. And then, it just exploded from there. They took advantage of their fame, and here we sit. But, I mean, it was the dream team of lawyers. It was, him on the phone, Al Cowling's driving the thing. I mean, like, the whole thing. People with signs, go, OJ, go. Like, I mean, we've never seen anything like it to this day. And again, it goes back to the fact that cable was around, but everybody watched the networks. You were watching the basketball game.
Right. Not only that, but like, I think the other thing that's quite shocking that a lot of people, because you mentioned this quite a bit, like people don't remember where other people originally were. Like there's a lot of people that probably grow up and don't know that Andy Reid coached for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, so you say that,
and I say that about OJ. Like, right? Like that's why I think a lot of people were so stunned and shocked because OJ was the funny guy in Naked Gun. Like he was, I forget what his name is in that movie. Nordberg, that's right. So he's the funny guy, always getting injured, doing all this sort of stuff, was on TV, was Mr. 2,000 yards for the Buffalo Bills, was all this guy, and then all of a sudden 2 dead people at his house, and he's chasing and running from the cops, and it's on television, everybody's like, we saw this guy growing up as like Mr. Movie, Mr. TV, Mr. Entertainment, and now his legacy dead and gone. Nobody cares because he's a scumbag. Is where it just all changed like over one period of time when he did this whole thing. So it's interesting because 94, again, I was born in 87, so I was 6 years old, 6.5, because it happened in June.
Yeah.
I'd have turned 7 in that July. I don't really know what's going on, but even being a 6.5, almost 7-year-old kid, I remember that chase. I remember being in front of an old school plasma big TV at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And I remember going over there and watching the trial, Johnny Cochran, all that sort of stuff. I remember all that very, very vividly. But at the time, didn't understand why it was so impactful.
Yeah, but he was, and I don't know that there's been anybody since that has been a pop culture icon like O.J. Simpson was as well. And that's the thing that I continue to go back to. I have deleted all of the emails, by the way.
Oh, nice, down to 0.
And
even the newest reply all today?
Yes, yep, got rid of it. So I'm down to nothing.
Okay.
So here, he was a pop culture icon, like as you mentioned, a great college football player, great professional football player, actor, TV commentator. Like he was the guy in America. Everybody loved OJ, commercials and whatnot. And then that happened, and it was like, oh my God, this is the guy that we all, literally everybody loved, O.J. Simpson. And I don't know that we've seen a pop culture icon quite to that level. And then Tim Meadows on Saturday Night Live was always fun.
Norm
too.
Macdonald.
Oh, Norm Macdonald. I mean,
O.J. murdered 2 people. In other news, the Yankees have won, and O.J. still gets away with murder.
Right.
But no, I probably, gosh dang it, now I'm going to have to go watch that documentary. Don't forget, big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, member-owned, open to all, invested in you. Join today at communityamerica.com. Don't forget, Royals baseball coverage starts this Saturday on this station from 9 until noon with Big Vern. He's going to have guests like Bobby Witt Jr., Matt Cotrero, JJ Piccolo, Cole Reagans, guys like that. You'll want to be getting tuned in because it is the Royals. What is it like? They still call it Fan Fest. Royals
Fan Fest, yeah. Kind of like they're setting off the spring training party and whatnot. Yeah, call it Fan Fest.
Get your sour cream ready. Hey, keep doing it, folks. Keep doing it. Doing nice things for people. You never know, like Blair did. You never know. It could change their day, week, month, their year, their decade, whatever it could be. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind. Cody and Golden Drew from 10 to 2 here on 96.5 The Fan.